What's up, potheads and political junkies? You're watching Cannabis Culture News live. I hope we're live.
Are we live?
We're
Cannabis
live.
Culture News, I hope we're live.
Are we live? Yo!
What's up? Let's see, and we'll just make sure the sound is working okay. And I think it is. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen, out there in Pod TV land? We're here another Friday at 307 West Hastings in lovely Vancouver, British Columbia on the Pop Block. Hi,
That's
Canadian
them.
Giant in the chat. Got some other chatters out there. Ral Gash, Jam. We got Canadian Giant Booth, and so on and so forth. So, Stephen Harper versus Canada show today.
Wow.
Going to talk a little bit about Stephen Harper's comments on on marijuana, the legalization of marijuana.
Oh no, he's gonna add an extra
Canadians
$5
don't want
million
it, apparently. Yeah.
to fighting the war on drugs about cannabis grow. It's gonna be $27 million. They're gonna spend on going after cannabis grows and labs apparently for
John Burfellow.
Wow.
And Carly Marley on the couch
Yes.
here. And Carly, can I get you to do me a favor and just, you see how the camera is facing a little bit, well actually, you know what, don't even worry about it. I'll take care of that in a couple minutes. But just give you an instruction and then, no, what you should do is give her a dab.
I am.
So that they have something to focus on for a second, and then I will...
Okay, so what we're doing here, I can't... The microphone. I was getting too close. So just, you know what, I woke up this morning, it was about 7:35. And what did I do when I got up? First thing I did is I grabbed my set of 1 gallon bubble bags and I made my fresh frozen, what I like. And I've been now doing this a little bit different. I've been paying more attention to getting the moisture out, doing vertical press and steaming. There's a couple little tricks I've been learning, so of course there'll be video coming soon. On that note, I'm going to give this young, lovely lady a dab.
Lady, yes. Not gentleman, no. So, we're going to talk about the Harper stuff on the show today. Going to play some video of Harper making some claims. We're also going to play an audio interview of a local reporter here, a CKNW reporter who was thrown out of a Harper, the first Harper rally in BC.
Uh-oh.
The kitty.
Someone grab Tippy. Can't grab Tippy.
Tippy's
Can't grab Tippy.
So, we're going to play that on the show. Also on the show today, Big Jeff from Skunk Funk is going to join us by Skype.
Jeff, you know what?
That's right.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. And also, Brittany Mitchell is going to be on the show.
Nice.
Now, I'm hoping that she's going to be on the show. I have to text her again just to make sure she's coming on. Brittany is my assistant editor here at Cannabis Culture. And so, hopefully she's watching the show. In the chat, maybe.
From Toronto.
From Brantford, Ontario, actually.
Yeah, it's Brantford. So it's not just, it's... She's across the country, actually.
She's in a different province. So we're going to try and get our Skype stuff on the go here. We'll see how that works out. But until then, can I have one of those?
For some reason.
Is it working? Oh, I hear it making noises. So, yeah, Stephen Harper comes out. And apparently he's ramping up. Of course, we have an election coming up here. Stephen Harper ramping up his election messages in general, using marijuana to activate his base, apparently. Because marijuana, as he claims, the majority of Canadians do not want to legalize marijuana, Mr. Harper says. But
it's dangerous to our children. But yet, young MJ, who was just recently born and they were going to pull the plug on her, someone gave her cannabis oil, not we as in the community.
Johnny gave it to her.
No, nothing to do with me at all. I watched it live just like everybody else did, and it was quite touching. And when we can see how cannabis is saving our children, and then Harper comes out and says how it is harming our children, I think he's harming our children in reality because of the wrong education and the message that he's giving out to the public on how cannabis is helping and saving people's lives every day.
Well, I think anybody who is denying a patient who needs marijuana, their medicine, that's wrong. Simple as that. And whether or not they use it, this whole excuse of if they're a minor or not, it's wrong and it's bullshit. I just wanted to say, now, this is something that I'll just bring it up early on the show here. Speaking of minors being excluded from our medical marijuana system, here in the city of Vancouver, we had another information session regarding the medical marijuana dispensaries in Vancouver. So, and if you watch the show, you know that last week the last 2 weeks actually, Neil Magnuson's in the house, we've been discussing whether or not marijuana is indeed legal recreationally in Vancouver now, or whether it's medically legal at the new dispensaries. We were wondering because in the bylaws don't show any information at all, don't have any requirements for you to ask for a doctor's note, don't have any requirements other than you have to be over the age of 19 or 19 or over. And so you can't be a minor. That's what the city said. Now, we had a first information session about dispensaries. Many people asked specifically about that rule, and they said even, cynically, if somebody cynically put up a sign that says we're selling to everyone recreational, what would the city do? And the city at that time said, we don't have any rules against that. It's not in the bylaws. It's not our jurisdiction. We're not regulating that. So we on the show, we're kind of thinking that we have recreational legalization. But a police officer, Constable Mike Sir, showed up to the second information session, and he actually had some other interesting comments that he made. He actually told us, the room full of people there, that any new dispensary that's selling to people that are not legal according to the MMPR would be in trouble, and that they would be shutting down dispensaries that don't follow the rules, asking for MMPR stuff.
That's what I was saying. I said, be careful what you wish for.
Well, and now of course, that's very different than what the city is saying. There's nothing in there at all about those kinds of regulations. If that's the case, that's the first anybody has heard of it. And the medical marijuana dispensaries in Vancouver have sprung up in spite of the MMPR and in spite of the MMAR. And because the MMPR and the MMAR were not working for people, that's why we have the dispensaries in Vancouver. So we brought that up. And I approached him afterwards because he mentioned it a few times. Michael Tripper was there. He actually called him out on the microphone and said some really amazing stuff. I'm trying to acquire the video of that happening. I know it's out there. I'm going to get my hands on the video. It just apparently hasn't been processed, and I don't have a copy of it yet, but there is video of this. And then we went up to the constable afterwards, Mr. Sir, and said, told him that the dispensaries in Vancouver do not need doctor's notes in that way. They get a doctor's note for diagnosis, but not that the doctor needs to say you get medical marijuana for this. So he didn't know that. He was confused. He was like, oh, they don't? That's not how it works? And so this is the guy, the cop, that's in charge of the medical marijuana system in Vancouver, who's taking care of it and going and busting the dispensaries and stuff. This is the guy who doesn't understand, apparently, how it actually works in town. So hopefully we can help educate them. He backed down and he backpedaled when we were there and said, well, maybe, kind of how the system is now, or whatever they do now. So he kind of didn't really realize that wasn't part of the system, which is maybe a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. I'm hoping that it means that we can help educate them. But it just seems like maybe they don't have their shit together. It seems like they're doing
the same thing that they did to us back in 2012 when instead of going around and talking to all the dispensaries from Health Canada and getting all this information so they could start with the MMPR, now they're doing the same thing. They're going around all these clubs getting all this information so they can absolutely implement on what you just said, guidelines set up to the MMPR. So that is where I was, really going, is really taking a good look is at how these places that are set up. And I was saying this to you personally. We were talking about this quite a bit over the last couple months.
Yeah.
Of how some of these places are indirectly being run and owned by licensed producers that are actually out there right now. So there are some already these LPs that are licensed that are already in the midst of dealing with some of these shops in town, not just here, but also in Toronto. We know where they have the place in Niagara Falls that has a whole doctor's kind of thing that's set up, and it's all set up through the privateers out of Washington State, right? So we're starting to follow this line, and really what we're looking at is what's going to happen is legalization. But I mean, how many of these stores are going to have to sell? Basically, all of the stuff they're going to be able to sell will be from licensed producers as their storefronts or a mail out. Is what I was saying. It's interesting.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes, and we'll see really what it comes down to. And I think this is important to remember is that it doesn't matter what the city does. They can legalize medical marijuana, recreational. It's what the cops do that matters. If the cops are busting people and coming after people and closing shit down, then we don't have legalization. If they are leaving it open for people and allowing these dispensaries to go forward, then we do have it. Now, the problem is that they're not telling us what the rules actually are specifically. So when I asked the cop about that, I said, well, can you write this down for us? Can you send us some confirmation about what it's going to take to remain open and who it is that's going to get closed? And he said no. He said, well, I can't give you any official rules. which seems totally wrong to me. And I'm going to keep on drilling these guys until we get some sort of official rules about it. Carly Marley.
I'm not sure how police can expect you to uphold a law that they don't clarify to you.
Right. How can you follow the rules that they don't even tell you? So it doesn't actually make sense. It's crazy. Yeah. They just want total arbitrary rule over everything, and they want to be able to at any time to make their own decision.
You know what this reminds me of? When a parent is telling a child to do something, the child asks why, and then the parent says, because I told you so.
Right.
It feels like that. It's like
exactly.
there's no actual rhyme or reasoning behind the things they're saying. It's like, we needed to regulate this
and
somehow.
The city's kind of like that, too.
And they're just throwing it together. Yeah.
The city, the way that they've written the bylaws allows the city manager's office to have the same kind of discretion, or the bylaw officers, or whoever they are. Because there's this demerit system and all this. They can just get rid of anybody they don't like for any reason at any time. So it doesn't really seem fair. I think they're just hoping that since it's something, we're going to be happy with it.
So I have some people that have walked into City Hall and have done the applications and going through the processes. And from what I was told today, there's a very few people going in and actually going through the process. They were expecting more, and there isn't. A lot of people are kind of up on wondering what's going on with it. So there isn't a lot of people running to do this. There's not a lot of people going into City Hall wanting to pay the $30,000 and proceed with what they're doing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Well, that's what I was told from somebody else who said they were there, and the lady behind the counter said specifically there's not a lot of people coming in because of all the criminal record background checks and everything that they're wanting to do for you to actually be an owner of one of these places. It's quite a vigorous little process they got going on. It is. I mean, Neil, you're all over that. I mean, you can see me. You're going like this, nodding your head.
Neil, you should come on and tell us about that, maybe. What were you gonna say, Carly? Did you have something?
She's gonna say Neil.
You sure? Okay. Mr. Magnuson is going to come and talk to us. I don't want to go too much longer on this discussion, but I want to hear what Neil's got to say here. I'm just going to edge this forward a bit.
Whoa.
There we go.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Carly's right. They're just making up stupid rules to be as hard as they can on those that want to get a license and run the business.
Well, they just
and
want
you
to
can
have
see that what would happen if
over
they didn't do that. If they had reasonable regulations that you could meet quite easily if the licensing fee wasn't... I mean, there would be thousands and thousands of people applying for licenses, wouldn't? And they'd have to give them to them because it'd be easy to comply.
There isn't.
And then it'd be a good business because you'd have all those revenue streams. So I kind of get that.
It has to. What date is it?
Maybe is why they did it. And John's right, because it is about LP weed. I mean, that's been the chatter at city council meetings, and you hear it in the media again today. They're talking about it. Well, we need to have a regulated supply that people know they're getting safe weed. And really the battle for us now is to defend the rights of all of the hundreds and thousands of farmers that are out there that have been supplying us with our cannabis.
100%. I mean,
yeah, that's who they're at war against, and us as well. So every individual needs the right to grow, and you need to be able to grow enough that if you want to help support your family by having clubs take your weed because it's good weed, then you need to have that right. So that's what our battle is, I believe.
There's a lot of problems with this new system, and now as of August 21st, that's the final day that people get to put in their applications.
There's a lot of people waiting for the last minute, I know that.
Right, and now what happens though is after that date, nobody else gets to be accepted, nobody else even gets looked at.
That's not true.
It could be years.
No, that's not true.
What do you mean?
That's not true. No, they talked about that yesterday at the meeting, that
what do you mean?
Other people could apply after that date, but they would have to wait until everybody else had been processed, all the declustering had happened and all of that stuff, and you couldn't open your doors until you got your license. But they did say that yesterday.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
What they're saying is in the future sometime that could be possible.
No, you can apply after the date, but your application will not even be looked at until all the rest of this is all done. That's what they said yesterday.
But they could take 2 years. It could be 2-3 years before they get to any new ones.
They didn't seem to indicate that. But
but we know, and this is what we've known from the beginning about this whole thing, if you don't get in before August 21st, there's no guarantee that you'll be looked at for any time. There's no guarantee at all.
Yeah, she did guarantee that people will be looked at.
Well, but it could be a year. It could be 2 years.
Yeah, they didn't talk about that, and I didn't get that indication, but I did get the indication it wouldn't be right away.
Just like in Washington and Colorado, where they opened it up, well, how long has it been now? They haven't come back to them once.
Did they put a cap on it?
Yes.
Yeah, Vancouver says they didn't put a cap on it. It's just that if you're late. They did cover it quite a bit yesterday in the meeting.
In reality, there is a cap because there's only so many spots within
Happy 420!
Happy 420, everybody!
Bark him if you got him.
Happy 420 here.
Even right now,
Cannabis Culture Lounge at 307 West Hastings.
Right up until the 21st, you can apply. Even if you don't have a storefront yet, you can still apply. They went over that quite a bit yesterday in the meeting.
Yeah, but I think you're being a little optimistic. When you're thinking that other people are going to be included. They won't, not for a long time. This licensing process gives these people that applied before the 21st and get accepted a monopoly right away. And those people, and just so you know, those people can open 5 dispensaries at any time, but nobody new can come and ask for one within that period of time if they don't want them to. So...
Nope, they said you can put your application in right away anytime, but they're not going to consider them until they finish the declustering and decide on who gets it right now.
That's 2 years from now, Neil. They're not even the declustering itself. You get 6 months.
I think you're pessimistic on how long the declustering is going to take.
How about this? How about you already have a few stores and you get the licensing process, so they give the application and say a store that already has 4 or 5 locations. Now you go through that process. Now you change the name, and now you can have 5. And here, there's all kinds of ways of playing with it.
And once they're all filled up, there's not room for anybody else.
Yeah, the declustering laws and the not close to schools and community center laws makes it difficult to find locations.
And close to each other.
That's the declustering.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Not just against the other. You can't be within 300 meters of another dispensary, and in the East End there's no
Astra.
It's only on Granville Street, only on Hastings Street that you can have them. Nobody else has allowed them anywhere. We've been jumping through the hoops for all this and talking to lawyers.
I had an interesting day yesterday.
Trying to get one.
I went to City Hall. We were going to have a few people come back and do the same protesting we've been doing every time, which was really awesome. But at 10 after 11 there wasn't anybody there yet, and actually the meeting wasn't going to start till 2. So I called Thor Cronwell. He's the senior policy advisor for licensing in the city of Vancouver. And he had called me the day before because I left him my number and appealed to him that we should get together. So I called him sitting on the steps of City Hall, and he agreed to meet with me. He was 2 blocks away, and I ran down there and had about 25 minutes with him. And I told him that I got it, that if they did open it up to have reasonable regulations, there would be too many applicants that would have to be accepted, and they don't want that, so that's why they made it tough. But that they're harming a lot of people in the process. And my concern yesterday was mostly about the vapor lounges, although still, major concern for all those people who are, need mail order
delivery.
We
have all these concerns and all the stuff that they're trying to put in, but really what comes down to, Neil, is they're trying to put in a regulatory system, and that's what's happening, and that's what we're seeing. No one is asking, it's the white elephant in the room, where are we going to be able to get our cannabis if we pay $30,000 a year? Why hasn't someone asked anybody at City Council? Because they're afraid
they are asking that question, and
then what are they saying?
But for me yesterday, it was mostly about the vapor lounges and taking those away. And I had arranged for Cassie Campbell to come down to City Hall, and then I had a meeting with my lawyer or person who wants to represent me for an hour in his office, and then I went back to City Hall, and Cassie was there, and the tent was up, and the signs were all up, and it was looking really good. And at 2 o'clock, I wheeled her into that meeting and stood there with her to the side there near the front, and we listened quietly again as they went through, here's what it is and here's how you do it. And then there was 24 dispensary owners there, I guess, and none of them that I recognized. I didn't know anybody in the room. And so I went to the mic. There was nobody anxious to get up and ask questions yesterday either. So I wheeled Cassie up to the mic, and I introduced her and I introduced myself. And I said, my thing about, I know that you have to make these strict regulations because you don't want a whole bunch of people to succeed or want to be in the business. But the hypocrisy is ludicrous, and it's really over the top. We have booze dispensaries all over Vancouver. There's hundreds of them. They're all clustered together. They look just like cannabis dispensaries. They've got a mirrored back wall with shelves and then jars and bottles of different drugs that you can purchase from behind the counter.
Yep.
And they've got consumption lounges in those alcohol dispensaries, and they've got kids allowed in there.
Yep.
And they're serving alcohol edibles in the form of freezies and chocolates and really fancy stuff that kids would like, and the drinks are all very pretty and everything anything like that. So the hypocrisy of what's going on with that set of regulations and this set of regulations, cannabis is not explosive, it's not poisonous, it's nowhere near in the league of alcohol. And so, that's what I don't like about what's happening here, is the stigmatization is being continued, the fear is being continued, and the reefer madness is being continued. And that's what's been harming our community for so long here, and we don't like that at all. Yeah. But the worst of all of these regulations, and there's many of them that are bad for good reason, and you've been told all about what those are, the worst of them is the shutting down of the vapor lounges. We were promised a year ago when the meetings were happening to do with putting the vapor into the anti-smoking bylaw that it wouldn't affect the cannabis community, and yet here it is. Now you're scaring the hell out of us, and you're going to close down our vapor lounges. And that's community for people. That's community for people who don't have other community, who really desperately need this. It's the poorest in our society that you're now attacking by taking away these vapor lounges. It's nice to go to a bar. And this is pretty much verbatim what I told him. It's nice to go to a bar and sit with your friends and talk about life and have some drinks and, loosen up after the day. It's a couple levels above that to go to a cannabis vapor lounge and sit with your friends. There's a lot of love in the room, and there's none of that angst that happens with alcohol, and nobody's bringing up bad memories or getting angry at anybody. It's all just...
Plus people are using their medicine there.
And then I talked about Cassie, and I said, and this young lady, she leaves her care facility every morning to travel in her electric wheelchair on her own to vapor lounges where she meets with her friends and gets to consume the medicine that actually works for her, and now she's got nowhere to go. And what are you going to say to her about why she's got no place to go? Cannabis vapor is not cigarette secondhand smoke. You're way more in danger when you're out on the sidewalk with all these gasoline combusting units driving around you than you are in any vapor lounge.
It's true. I mean, there's so many things out there that can hurt you. Cannabis is one of the safest substances on the goddamn planet.
And we need safe inhalation areas, because I told him that Cassie, not only can she not consume,
I just think that everybody should get and write letters and pile Harper and everything,
what
and
did they say?
and get
involved
nothing, and really right now what we're looking at is they're trying to put in a system that we don't know. So it's all in the mids and the works, but like they did already to us in the past, we know what the end game is. So it's how things are being set up, and we're, when it comes to the smoking lounges and stuff like that, there's going to be people that are going to take the fines. We're going to go through it. We're going to protest it, see what happens.
We will not.
Are police going to go through?
What was their
we will not close.
though?
Well, I said, Cassie can't consume where she lives. And for all of us, many other people can't consume where they live, and they can't consume in public without fear, because we're afraid of the stigma that's out there, we're afraid of the police that are out there, and able-bodied people like us being afraid is one thing, but how do you think Cassie feels about that? So she's stuck right now, and she doesn't know what to do, and you're right, they had nothing to say to her about any of that. But I appealed to them to put a moratorium. I said, you get to make up whatever you want to do as you go along here. Please consider a moratorium on closing the vapor lounges for cannabis because of all these reasons I just gave you. And, they said they would consider it. I also got to run into Dr. Balaam running through the lobby earlier on in the day. I did. And I put a lot of that to her. And Cassie was right there in her wheelchair outside the doors. And I pointed to her and referred to her. Oh, and she said they would take it under serious consideration. So I had the chief policy advisor and the public city manager and the people in that room all telling me that they're going to go back and reconsider the vapor lounge side of it. And I did talk about the Cannabis Culture vapor lounge as well, and how important that is to people, how long we've had it. It serves a real need within the cannabis community to be safe in what we're doing, because we're still being stigmatized and oppressed.
And what did Penny Ballum say to you? Did she have a comment?
Other than saying she would take it under consideration, I was joined by a couple other people who then started asking her questions, and she wanted to answer mine, and she was trying to answer mine. But Tracy, the security guard, came along and said that she needed Dr. Balaam for something else right away, and sort of turned her shoulder. And as she was turning her shoulder, she looked at me and said, "We will be considering that."
Oh, good. So, okay. All right. Well, it's funny because before, when I had a private conversation with Penny Ballum, remember when you and I were there that first time? She was really nice to us.
She was. And I reminded her that we had been promised that those things weren't going to affect our community, and that they were, and that there's hundreds of people that are really seriously being harmed. I did say that to her. big eyes.
Yeah.
Big eyes, but...
well, yeah, because she made a promise to you and me and to the city council.
Yeah.
So.
And we made a big fuss about it at City Hall. We had a lot of signs and banners, and we held our ground and educated some people there. The most important thing, two real important things that happened at City Hall with our protests there. One was we got media to come and show up and interview us and interview people that were in the room. And I thought the stories that I saw that came out were really positive and did speak to the message that we wanted to get out. That's our point, is we want to get this message across that your regulations are harming people in some ways and you should really back off on these ways. Which, of course, if they do, they'll have too many applicants.
Well, it would be someone like myself. I don't live in town, and when I come into town, I frequent all the vapor lounges. That's where everybody knows me, because I need to medicate. It's something I have to do. So with them taking that away, and I want to come down and talk, it's something that's why I'm at this lounge. I go to the one on Commercial Drive. I'm not the one on Broadway. I go to all these places because I need to stop, take a break, have a toke so I can continue with my day, because I break about every 2 hours and spend about an hour relaxing. That's what it does for me. And there's a lot of people like myself that we have to stand up and get down to City Hall and state this is the reasons why these clubs are so needed. Yeah. It's not just the clubs, the vaporizing and where we can medicate, because they got to face the facts. We have 25 licensed producers. They're looking at what's happening with the system. So you better have a place for them to be able to medicate and be able to purchase their accessories and stuff like that. That is very much needed, not just here, but what's happening in Winnipeg, what's happening all across this country. So, this is what's being happened here in Vancouver. But, how can we start implementing what's happening?
There's steady
what's going
down
on?
Dispensaries.
Exactly.
The Glen Price situation in Winnipeg. Now, and of course, this just yesterday or the day
Jeff,
before.
Look at Jeff. Look at Skunk Funk. Look at Jeff, right?
Exactly, Jeff.
So, they shut him down too,
But did you see the Lime Life?
Lime Life. Here we go, another one. So we have another club in town, and they're saying organized crime behind it.
Oh, shit, I was going to bring up the VPD thing.
Well, I should say the second thing that we really got that was important at City Hall was public support. We had reams of cars driving by all day long and honks and honks and honks and honks. And I'm sure the people in City Hall heard all of those honks inside the building. So that was really powerful as well.
See, that's another thing that's a good, powerful message is when they hear the disturbance. Like when I did my protesting, you make a disturbance and people start seeing it. And the people that are working in there are seeing how many people... Because Vancouver, what's good is that they're not the government, so they're about the people of Vancouver. So in reality, they should listen.
They're the politicians that you actually get to know and get close to, and
so,
that actually have effects on your actual life.
They're seeing the effects of what's happening, because I've been at the meetings in the beginning, and we had very good, with Greg, with a lot of people making their stance on what these
know that Distressed and Depressed was robbed last night?
Wow.
Did you talk about that?
So I was just going to say...
well, we got a lot to talk about when it comes to this.
First, I was going to talk about the Lime Life thing. So Lime Life was raided. The VPD says the reason they raided was because Lime Life was selling to children, was involved in organized crime, and was selling to people without doctor's notes.
They said that they were investigating them because of their suspected ties to organized crime, and they've come out and said it's the Hells Angels now.
Oh, they did now?
They did, yeah.
I didn't see that.
Or at least that was reported in the media.
Wow.
That it was Hells Angels. And that in the process of that investigation, they saw that they were selling to kids, and that's the media interpretation. I'm not sure what the VPD have said, whether it's youth or kids or what term they're using, but it's that red herring again. I doubt that there was any actual kids walking in there and purchasing from that place or any others, but there are people that are under 19. I'm
just going to say, so when they label that the Hells Angels are involved with Lime. I'm just curious. When it comes to growing marijuana in BC and across thing, I think it's very much known who's been growing for long. So you could say that every club is then. So, it's really too bad.
Well, if organized crime wants to open up a storefront and sell cannabis to people and try to, pretty soon they'll be compassionate, because that's what happens when you start selling cannabis to people is you find
you realize how much it helps.
Yeah, exactly.
You see it and you start becoming
a part
of it.
A greedy, guy, but
it
doesn't take long and you're focused back in. I want to say that about the clubs as well, that there's almost all of them are trying to go through the process and hoping that they get that license, and they're trying to behave themselves, and they're allowing themselves to be be bullied in the process. But the reason that they're doing that, I got a really good sense of this when I went around and visited most of them just last week. The reason that they're doing that is because they have really come to be attached to the help that they're giving to their members. They're addicted to helping people. And they don't want to close their doors because they know this person and that person and the next person. Where are they going to go? How are they going to get what they want?
They
right?
see what they're doing. They see the impact of how they're helping people. I saw it because
it's a huge
was at
impact
a club.
on them.
I worked at the Green Cross. I was there for 4 years. That's why I know so many people around here is because I individually met a lot of people. When all the people I meet, like John, who's sitting over here, and everybody, I meet people all around that have been going to these clubs, and it
happens at all the
community.
clubs. It happened to me. I wasn't a greedy club owner, but I was an activist club owner back with David Malmo Levine and myself. Opened the Herb School about 11 years ago now. And, we thought that we would just get our activist friends, those brave enough to venture into that area, that would come and be our clientele, and that would be fine because that was what we wanted, was to have people meet there that were hardcore activists. But before long, and throughout most of the history of the Herb School, the basic clientele that was there was people from the area that would come in and tell us their stories about how they ended up on the downtown east side and how cannabis is helping them in so many different ways. It's helping them get off their hard drugs and mitigate the side effects and all these things. I mean, we were in tears on a daily basis there, and you can't operate a club and have people come to you and get cannabis and without finding some of those people that are just going to tug at your heartstrings and have that kind of an impact on you. So that's why these clubs want to go through these, or are willing to go through this ridiculous licensing process and pay those huge fees, is because they want to do everything they can to keep their doors open and help their people.
They want to do whatever it is they have to do to survive.
Yeah, well, but it's not so much about money. It's about making sure that the people that they've been helping still get the help that they need. And they don't trust anybody but them,
Yeah.
And that's another thing, too, that's sort of coming out here. At the meeting yesterday, they talked about how there could be cooperation amongst the dispensaries, where if you're, in the same area as another one, you could kind of make a handshake agreement that, if it's a tie, or you know what I mean, or you'll just voluntarily move away and let the other one stay there. That's not what's happening. There's little wars going on between these dispensaries. These people do not like each other. They do not like that this one's going to make it and maybe they're not. And they got lots of reasons why they should stay and the other ones should go, and it ain't fair. And
grow your own.
Your survival.
Oh, man, it's about a bunch of angst for no good reason.
If you can, grow a plant. If you can, grow your own.
Grow a plant, yeah, man.
Grow a plant. Anybody can grow a plant.
The system is bullshit that they created. It's wrong in so many ways.
But we have a system.
And
so you know what?
But at least we have it, though.
That's the whole thing. It's just like we have it, and it's like.
But that's still for me. That's just not enough, though. We already had it.
It's not enough, and
I don't want to go backwards. No. We're going backwards.
With Lime Life, by the way, they've been helping out on the downtown east side for years, and they make sure that the people that need it get it down there. They've had really compassionate pricing for a lot of people. I've met the owner myself.
So they're not just gangsters slanging weed to
everyone. If they're gangsters, and I'm not sure what a gangster is, and you know what?
Organized criminals.
Apparently we have
tattoos.
The law.
According to the law, any three people that get together and conspire to do something that breaks the law is a gang.
Yeah.
But I gotta speak for a moment on behalf of gangsters, man.
1, 2, 3.
I gotta tell you,
right here, hardcore organized crime.
Well,
1, 2, 3. Come on. So that's just the way it is. And that's the way
the people that actually fit the bill that they call the gangsters, that are willing to use violence to get the job done, to get the product to market. Those people have been fighting prohibition just like the rest of us too, man. They've been putting their lives on the line for prohibition. The risks are high, the rewards are good, but somebody's going to do it, and it's going to be the person that da-da-da-da. But I'm telling you, those people are fighting this war against prohibition with us. Without them, we don't survive it either. They would have just annihilated the drugs that we like, and we'd be alcohol and pharmaceutical based, and that'd be it. So I don't like seeing gangsters slam too much, because they deserve some real kudos for really doing the hard lifting and heavy lifting in this, for sure. And if they've now decided that the way to be a gangster is to have gardeners that you hire because they know how to grow plants and rent some buildings and then get that product to a storefront and sell it to people even within the guidelines of the government as best they can, well, shit, that's a hell of a lot better way to be a gangster than many of the other forms of it out there. And if that's how they all go, then the world owes the cannabis community a big, huge favor for doing that.
Gangster to me involves violence. So
exactly.
Exactly. Thank you very much. There's no. Well,
if they were closing their competition's
gangsters are the guys that are out there shooting people and doing all.
Then I would say that's gangsterism. But if you're selling marijuana, that's not gangsterism. That's still organized crime, apparently. But See, so anyways, I want to move on here. I don't want to go too long on this.
Well, we're not going to debate this until tomorrow.
I mean, I could talk about the bigger gangs out there, which is the cops and the violence that they use and all that kind of shit.
So, I mean, we can go really past that. Now we can get into a world debate.
Right, wasn't there something else that we were going to touch on? I swear
there's a protest tomorrow.
Where's a protest tomorrow?
That's at the art gallery to do with the people that are upset about the over excessive violence on Cannabis Day and all those city tactics. Starts at 11 o'clock. Come on down.
That's excellent.
I'll be there giving away weed.
Who's organizing this?
I'm not sure who's organizing it. I know that World Cannabis said they were not organizing it, except that I know they've been promoting it for sure. And, but it's just an opportunity for people to come down to the art gallery.
I've never heard about it, so it's really good. That's
awesome. I'm going to go there and give away weed. That's what I'll tell you.
Don't get arrested.
Don't get arrested.
You never know. If I get arrested, I hope there's video cameras, and I hope they are the bullies that we hope they'd be.
Hey,
when we preach to hug power,
how about a bully what Harper did there in Richmond to that CKNW news lady?
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
We gotta talk about that. There's some cannabis news right there. I'm
gonna play that on the show today.
Are you okay? So you know what? I'm just talking about stuff that we're going to talk about.
Wait, I just want to hear how Neil sounds here.
Wait a second.
When we talked about hug power, the whole idea was to make sure that we had video cameras going, because what was going to happen was the police were going to be bullies and we were going to be peaceful. And
they were pretty good. You know what?
If that didn't ever happen on that Cannabis Day attack there, right? They were such bullies, and we got that video that I never believed we'd actually get. But they couldn't have done a better job on their side of looking more like outrageous bullies up against peaceful people, for sure.
Right. Because we were peaceful. But, I mean, they do have video of us, shouting swear words at them.
After the fact, when they,
Right, so that doesn't
look so good. Almost killed me there. I would hope you guys would be angry about that.
Who are you calling there?
I don't know. The social club's calling me. I've never seen
Johnny's grandmother watches the show regularly.
Well, you know what? The family likes to know what's going on.
Grams loves the show, loves Pod TV.
And really getting to educating the elderly.
My favorite episode was when Neil was wearing those shorts. So, okay, maybe we should go back to the Harper thing, because I forgot. Yeah. I thought there was some other Vancouver-related cop thing, but I'm forgetting now.
There's some more stuff coming.
Nothing else got closed down, though, right?
Everybody
else still with us, just Lime Life?
Yeah, Lime Life, and then apparently the robbery, but I mean...
Oh, this is right, the robbery. That's what we were supposed to come back to, was David Malmo Levine. So, unfortunately, last night at the Stressed and Depressed Society, they were held up, and it was bear spray and a knife they were held up with. Yeah. And so, which sounds a lot like the green room.
One guy was masked, the other one had their hoodie pulled up and then sunglasses on.
Remember the green room had the same thing happen?
So in the green room, wasn't that a threat with the bear spray?
They came in with the bear spray and said, "Give me all your fucking."
So was a bear spray used at David's, or was
they didn't spray?
It had bear spray and a large butcher knife.
Yeah, bear spray and a knife, but nobody got hurt and nobody was sprayed.
Talia was,
but they got robbed, and so
scared.
Watch out for the bear spray
afterwards
bandits.
Got Bert quite pissed off, right? They detained two of their clientele, said, what are you here for? To buy some weed. Well, put them. I don't know if they got put in handcuffs or just
what?
But they were not treated well. I didn't get the whole story on that one, so there's more to be told on that.
Call David.
But I do know that there was at least two people that were just customers of the store that were detained by the VPD that were on site because of the robbery and not treated well at all.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. Well, that's not very good. That's craziness. And, of course, this is the problem when you have this prohibition system here in town. The cops, nobody feels safe going to them because they do shit like arresting the fucking patients. Yeah. Like, give me a break. If they're trying to make it any worse, man, wow, this is the...
And they did worse than that. They also threatened that the Stressed and Depressed was illegal and that they should...
They did?
Yeah.
But
so first they just gave him back his weed. Their last time, this time they're threatening him.
Bert should come on and explain.
I don't understand why are the cops being all harsh in their buzz this time?
Every cop is an individual, and they're all in their own little world out there, and
every person is an individual, and a lot of people
they're not the same.
They think they hold different powers, and then they judge and they cause problems.
Grandma's texting.
I saw that.
I go back to court on the 20th.
I was going to ask about your court case. So. Oh, and David's going to set up an Indiegogo thing to help with the...
I think he already has.
Oh, on that note, I got my letter in the mail from the city about me fighting all the tickets I got, and I have an oral hearing on October 11th.
Come out for that one.
So hopefully I'm not in surgery, but that is my oral hearing date, so that will probably be my surgery date. I guarantee
that's how it's going to work. I don't think that one's going on the front page of Cannabis Culture for some reason. Wait, your court date...
It's on the 20th. I still don't have any more disclosure than the first packet that they gave me. I still don't have what video they're going to be relying on.
It's going to be a jury?
I have the opportunity to choose a jury, and I likely will. Everything in an effort to get them to stop, right? I think that it's so ridiculous. From the overview looking down on it, what crime was committed against who in our society, how much damage was done. And what cost our taxpayers going to be on the hook for in trying to recover the damages that was done by this individual on this day. Well, I don't know that there is any damages. There's nobody that they've got that said I ripped them off or sold them anything, or you know what I mean. It was just they've got some guy that sat down on Cannabis Day and gave somebody something out of a jar. It was lunchtime or whatever, and it's outrageous that they would have brought it as far as it is. Anything for me that involves them dropping the charges or me getting off of those charges is a win. I would like to have that win meter go way over to where we can use the excessive force that they used. We can show that this situation with the cannabis prohibition is so now far gone that it needs to stop. And I plead for that every time I go before the judge, and I'm going to continue to do that. But the first thing I say is this is a waste of the court's time. This is a criminal misuse of taxpayer money, and it should stop right now. Right. And now I'm trying to give them a whole bunch of reasons why they shouldn't want to pursue me anyway. I'm not going to be somebody they can probably get a conviction on, and it might even be worse than that for them. I'm being consulted by lawyers for sure, and I've been offered the services of one. He would like to have some of his costs covered, so I'm going to talk to David about that and see if he's going to represent me. I'm a little torn about that. I want to do this right. This is an opportunity for our community to maybe make some precedent and change some things. So I certainly want to do it right. I'm not going to make up my mind until I have to on any of these crucial areas. So if I'm in court on my own, unrepresented, I get a lot of different latitudes that lawyers don't get, and I get protections and instructions from the judge that are required that can help me from the pitfalls along the way. And maybe that's the route to go. We'll see. I'm going back on the 20th. I'm going to plead all those things that I pled before but not guilty or not guilty. I believe I don't have to plead guilty or not guilty until they give me a certificate of analysis based on a case called Stinkholm versus the Queen. And that seems to be the case. So we'll see if they have such a thing. They didn't seize anything from me. They got 2 of my joints out of my side bag that I had. I don't know. It's a strange case, Jeremiah.
Yeah, I read the police reports.
With respect to saying what I was doing there, but I will say I go to
Did I give you your police reports back?
Weed. What's that?
Sorry, did I give you your police reports back? I just remembered that.
Yes, I have my my disclosure back.
I forgot.
There's some interesting things in that disclosure for sure. They do quite a preamble talking about what they were expecting for the day, and that they knew that there would be a large anti-police sentiment, and that there would be open using and dealing of cannabis.
Anti-police sentiment? Only if they're cracking heads.
Well, yeah, that's what they said.
We're pro-police if they're being nice to us.
But they also said they didn't expect violence in that report, but that they were not there to enforce the CDSA.
But they showed up with over 35
they would do
police.
so or could do so, but would only do it under extraordinary circumstances. So we're very interested. I know the lawyer that's talking to me is very interested in what those extraordinary circumstances were. Mm-hmm. Was that political targeting because of the previous events leading up to that day?
Yeah.
Or because they seem to have made some pretty serious mistakes when the lawyers are looking at it and talking to me about it, that they really screwed up. They in several different ways in what they did, in deciding on what they did. It also looks like it was pre-planned to a large extent with the tactics
It was totally pre-planned.
The tactics used against Hug Power and the statements made after the fact.
And the raw number of police officers there before we even showed up.
There was 27 complaints about Cannabis Day last year, apparently. 27 complaints.
About 420 or Cannabis Day?
People saying that they weren't happy that there was this cannabis event of smoking going on in the middle of the city during Canada Day, right. That they wanted just white and red balloons for their kids to see.
And all so 27
in
of
this
them,
booze fest that is Canada Day.
All 27 of them came from Pam McCall.
Yeah, probably. Just continually redialing. So I think that had a lot to do with why they decided that they were going to do something to try to stop it. And then the whole thing about selling to youth, I think they maybe thought they could get a home run and knock off 3 different things at once, because then they used the arrest of me to say that I was selling to youth. There's also some pretty serious liability on the part of the VPD because of the tweets that they put out right away after the arrest, talking about that very thing, about selling to youth, and about having repeatedly told someone to stop selling to youth. They're not even allowed to really tweet about what they're investigating or what they've arrested somebody for. And if you go up and ask them why they're arresting somebody on the street, they don't tell you, because for the protection of the person they're arresting, because you're innocent until proven guilty, of course, right? And a police statement like that can convict you in the court of public opinion.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So well, that makes sense.
Several avenues are in a little bit of trouble.
But yeah, interesting. Well, Neil, so August 20th, next court date.
I think that's it.
Thanks, Neil.
Do we want people to be there?
It's up to them.
I want to go see what's going on.
Not that I'm trying to entertain anybody, and I'm certainly not trying to upset the courts, but what I prepare before I go in there and what I present once I have that opportunity, I think a lot of people in our community might find interesting. And it is good to have some support in the courtroom. I think it's worth watching, but and there's nothing much going to come out of this except they might at any point, and I think they should, say we're going to drop the charges. I'm going to go in there and ask for an adjournment probably, because at this point I need a little more time because I'm really considering retaining counsel, and I think that's the right thing to do. But they should be having meetings like I've been having, the VPD and the prosecutor, and in their meetings they should be seeing what we're seeing in those videos and discussing what we're discussing and going, how can we get out of this without looking too bad. They probably, the VPD probably don't want the charges dropped because that's going to make them look bad, but they probably are going to drop them, and so that might happen at any time. Otherwise, it'll probably be just stand up, say a bunch of things before a judge who will then tell me really he or she is just there to give me some more time to retain this lawyer and get me the particulars. If they don't get me the rest of the particulars, then it's a moot point.
I hope they drop it.
Especially if the particulars don't include that certificate of analysis, then once again it'll be them that's delaying it and not me.
Right. So. Okay, well, cool, Neil. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure to have you on. We're going to play this Stephen Harper video. Neil Magnuson, one of our activist warriors on the front lines of the battle, swinging his proverbial axe of truth. Okay, so...
And so was the lady from CKNW in Richmond.
Yes. So this
about Harper right now.
This Prime Minister guy that we have.
Yeah, we got to talk about him because he's been a lot in the news this week.
A couple days ago, he came out and said this, and let's play the video.
This. I'm going to roll a joint and get high while I listen to this bullshit.
Uh-oh, hold on. It's too close to the thing. Play video. There you go. Where's the sound?
Are we working now?
Is it working?
Well, we can check chat. Chat might tell us. So quiet now.
I don't know if the sound is working
Look
or
at
not.
Chat.
No sound.
Ask chat. No. Ask the chat.
It's really quiet. I wonder why we're not getting sound. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, the sound is not functioning properly.
We might not have sound, apparently.
There you go. Huh. Strange, I can't get the sound to go on this damn thing. Very odd. Let me just see if we can do one more little restart here. I'm just going to refresh the window. Maybe we can't play this for you. You just get to look at his pretty face. Sorry, guys. Sound is just acting screwy. Sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. How's that? Still no sound coming out of it. And the volume is...
because they recognize, and I think the statistics...
And here we go again.
Okay, one more try.
3 times the charm.
One more try.
His hands are busy. He's trying to put that down.
Okay, here we go, guys. Now watch. There you go, Harper.
Most Canadians, you actually ask them, do not want the full legalization of marijuana because they recognize, and I think the statistics in places like Colorado are very clear on this, that when you go down that route, marijuana becomes more readily available to children, more people become addicted to it, and the health outcomes become worse. Look, I would say this. I think it is actually a tragedy. In fact, we have more and more data about the consequences of long-term marijuana use and how really bad they are for health on so many levels. We have gone to so much effort in our country to discourage tobacco smoking over the past couple of generations with great results, with really strong declines. And we've actually seen the same thing. This is actually not known. We've actually seen the same thing with marijuana. Marijuana use has actually been declining. So I think when we've gone to all that effort and we're actually moving in the right direction to turn around and have a policy that could do nothing other than, and has done nothing other than where it's been tried, that encourage people to use it with all of the health consequences it has, all the consequences of tobacco, of inhaling smoke in your lungs, plus a whole bunch of other things. We just think that's the wrong direction for society, and I don't think that's the way most Canadians want to deal with this particular problem.
So, there we go. There was Harper.
That was Harper, and boo. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, what the...
Canadians
really?
don't want to legalize pot. Wait a sec. 2/3 say they want to relax the marijuana laws. And so Harper's being dishonest because he's not including the people who want to decriminalize. He's saying nobody wants to legalize, but there's all these people who want to decriminalize.
Well, it's just like we're saying it's non-medical, right? So we've been listening to a lot of ad campaigns lately.
Yeah.
Coming out about the harmful effects and just what about Justin Trudeau, and there's a real attack right now in the government of marijuana and medical, and just the whole legalization and the thoughts of it. So, I mean, we have one side saying it's non-medical and the other side saying it is medical. We want to make it recreational, and then we have the Liberals. They're kind of right down the middle there right now.
The Liberals, they're saying legalization.
They're saying legalization,
and the NDP is like,
we're gonna decrim. Medical's good.
But Tom Mulcair himself, not really the biggest fan of pot, I don't think. So, but I'd still be happy with the Prime Minister Mulcair. Much rather than Prime Minister Harper. But I mean,
cannot get in. He just announced. He announced it this week too. $27 million on the fight for marijuana growing and labs.
Yeah, wow, that's brutal.
It's brutal.
Okay, so now this is okay. I was at my house, and Carly, did you listen to this with me? This was I don't think you were there. Shelby Tom, the journalist from CKNW. No, that's right. I thought we were listening to it together.
No.
She was kicked out of a Harper rally.
She was
for asking about that speech.
Rushed out by hotel security.
Well, it was staffers apparently. She said.
She said,
she said conservative staffers.
It was conservatives close to Harper.
Harper guys. Harper's goons.
She asked about it, and she was quickly. You can't talk about that here.
They showed her the back door. Yeah, they literally just ushered her to the door, and she's like, "Where are we going?" And they're like, "Oh, just come right this way." And they put her out the back door and then shut the door on her. She took a photo of it and put it up on her Twitter account. So that's really rough. So Harper's booting people out. So she was just asking people in the crowd what they think of marijuana legalization. She wasn't trying to be a jerk or get Harper or roast him or anything.
Or
but
even ask Harper directly.
Yeah. No, so we're going to play this audio. This is just an audio thing. This is from, I can show you a picture of, I'd rather get you a picture of her than him. This is the show Drex Live on CKNW. And hold on a sec, we'll go to Cannabis Culture and get a picture of her. Drex Live, I guess, apparently is a CKNW show. Never watched it before this, or listened to it before this, but he's got a handsome beard, though. So, okay, I'm going to play this for you. And this is Shelby Tom, the CKNW journalist, on another CKNW show, talking about her experiences. And now this is funny because they play some of the clips of her talking with people in the audience. Did you listen to this already, Johnny? Did you listen to this already?
No, I don't
No?
think I have.
Oh, so what they do, so they're going to actually play some of the answers from conservative supporters about what they think about marijuana legalization.
Oh, I didn't hear this.
Which is funny. So we're going to go ahead and play this for you.
I got to listen.
Yeah.
So.
All right, here's...
Weeks until the federal election, we launched a brand new campaign tonight that we're calling Meet Your Candidates. Well, Shelby Tom, as an intrepid journalist does, went out today. There was one of the party wagons rolled through the Lower Mainland. The Conservatives were in town today with the Prime Minister in tow to introduce us to a whole bunch of different people running in different ridings. All Conservatives, as you would imagine. There was a lot of journalists there as well. Shelby Tom was one of them, but it turned a little sour very quickly. To give us the cliff notes of exactly what happened this afternoon, Shelby Tom from the CKNW Newsroom. What happened?
All right, Drex. So it was Conservative leader Stephen Harper's first stop in BC since the election campaign kickoff. He met with party supporters and candidates at a hotel in Richmond. There was about 1,100 people there. He spoke for about 35 minutes, touting his party's accomplishments. He talked about the economy, trade, resource development, and job creation. Here's a clip from his speech to start.
My friends, it is a clear choice. Indeed, it is a very stark choice. And for the sake of this country, to keep it moving forward, it's a choice we're going to work hard to make sure we get right.
Right.
So this was a rally, so there was no campaign announcements, no promises tonight and no media availability. But earlier in the day at his morning briefing, he did claim the majority of Canadians agree with his opposition to legalizing marijuana, despite government polling showing otherwise. So after his speech was over, the rally had concluded, people were starting to leave. I grabbed out my CKNW microphone and I started asking party supporters if they support legalizing cannabis.
What's your position on legalizing marijuana? Would you support legalizing marijuana?
No, I don't.
No? And why not?
I think that if you're going to legalize something like that, you're condoning and you're saying it's okay.
The Prime Minister today talking about legalizing marijuana. He says the majority of Canadians are on side with him. I'm curious your position on the issue.
I support the Prime Minister. I think that drugs aren't good for anybody.
And why not? Why not legalize marijuana?
Well, it hurts a lot of families.
No,
Why not?
not the best decision right now. I mean, if you look at other countries, if you look at Colorado and Seattle, their business has been booming, but other things just haven't been doing so well. I noticed that I read something that their homeless went up.
There's already so many people who actually smoke marijuana, and I think legalizing it would just get kids in more trouble and stuff like that.
Wow. So after the first interview, I was approached by a campaign staffer informing me that the rally was over, insinuating that it was time for me to leave. I ignored him. I continued interviewing people in that room.
Was there other journalists doing the same thing as you?
No, other journalists had been clearing out. And,
Okay.
this was a rally. There was no formal announcement. But as a journalist, I didn't just want to repeat, Harper touting his economic record. I was kind of looking for a story. I was thinking about what he had talked about earlier in the day. I was curious if there were any Conservative Party supporters in that room who supported legalization, which would be, breaking party ranks, if you will. But of course, as you heard there, they were all echoing what the Prime Minister had said earlier, saying that they were opposed to legalizing cannabis. But after my first interview, there was a campaign staffer that approached me, told me the rally was over. I continued to interview them. Within minutes, another staffer approached me and he signaled me towards a side door exiting the building. Now, I attempted to walk towards the lobby. I didn't follow him. I was walking in the opposite direction towards the lobby, was hoping to continue to interview people on this subject out there. He pointed at me. He said, no, come this way. He once again directed me to that side door. This time I did oblige. He opened the door. I walked out and he shut the door behind me. And I have tweeted a picture of that door. So I did feel essentially that I was kicked out. I was interviewing supporters after the rally and I was continuously interrupted by Conservative campaign staffers. I don't have their names. I don't know specifically who they are, what their specific positions were, but they had the conservative Tory around their neck. And you could tell that they were members of the party.
I know that you don't want to talk about this too much because you're just trying to do your job and you don't want this to become the story. I guess my final question to you before you leave this room is, did you feel at any stage that they were trying to stop you from actually finding someone in that crowd who may actually support legalization?
I don't know
of marijuana?
what their motive was. I don't know what their policies were. This was my first time covering one of Stephen Harper's campaign rallies. I put it out on Twitter. Have any other reporters experienced this? A Canadian press journalist says that yesterday he was interviewing supporters outside of a building and was not asked to stop. So I'm not sure if this was a rare circumstance or if this is their common policy. Now, they have run into trouble with journalists in the past. Just last week, an Ontario reporter claimed that she was denied access to a rally because she missed a security protocol window. They've also been under fire for essentially placing this gag order on attendees, telling them that they aren't allowed to use social media during the rallies or tweeting out any pictures. They have removed that policy, but it's still very tightly controlled in the way that they screen attendees in advance so they know exactly which supporters are going to be at these rallies.
All right, so what's interesting is about a month ago, we spoke to Justin Ling from Vice Canada. He is one of those journalists that has been barred from doing certain things when it comes to covering politics. I'm going to replay some of that interview in a couple of seconds here. But I never expected it to happen to somebody in this building, and this so early on in the election campaign.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely stunned by this.
We'll see what their response is. I've heard that they were claiming that the event was over and they were shutting down the building, but I can tell you there were still dozens of people inside who were mulling about, and I was just chatting with them.
I lied before when I said I had one more question. I got one more question for you now. Do you think because you've tweeted about this and now you've spoken about this on the radio, essentially getting blocked from doing your job, do you think you will be blacklisted possibly in the future here?
I hope not. I hope that other political parties will learn from this experience. It is getting hundreds of retweets now. It's in the public domain what has happened this evening. And I hope that they do change their policies. And if reporters want to ask questions of supporters or of anyone during or after an event, freedom of the press, freedom of association. I mean, we should have that right. This is a democratic society.
Shelby Tom from the CKNW Newsroom. It is very unfortunate that you've been put in this situation, but I appreciate you giving us some time to talk about it tonight. Yeah, it's on now until the 23rd. It's the Vancouver Queer Film Festival.
We're coming back here. We're turning this guy off. Drex Live is out of here. So, yeah. Uh-oh. Stop it, Drex.
And wow.
Yeah. So, there you go. And this whole social media ban and,
he definitely doesn't
Harper's
want,
weird
doesn't
screening,
want anybody
doesn't
talking
talk to
about
the press.
cannabis at any of these events, and he's made it very
He's not
strong
very
in the beginning.
is he?
He's made a very strong decision, and he's came out and just said that it's not wanted and it's going to harm our children. And it's pretty much Canadians have no interest in the legalization of cannabis whatsoever.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it doesn't help anybody. It's got no medical benefits.
Of
so
course.
Lies.
It's not very good.
Lies.
And marijuana use is going down, says Steve.
Not abused.
It's weird that I've got the Skype window open.
The hospital say, hey, I just...
I'm hoping this Skype is going to work. Look, it won't let me move the window or make it large, so hopefully we'll be able to see Jeff. I'm going to bring Jeff Lundstrom on here. I want to talk to Jeff about what's happening with Skunk Funk and with the Prairie Medicinal Harvest Cup, which is coming up very soon.
Yes.
saskprairiecup.ca is the place online to find out about that and to get tickets. We're just going to go straight... whoops. We're just going to go straight to Jeff here and see if this works. Let's just try this. Oh, yeah. Now let's get our window up here.
Here we go, Jeff.
I'm going to try and bring you guys a little window here. Oh, there he
is.
Now, hold on a sec here.
Peace, brother.
We're going to get Jeff in the window here. I got a bunch of crap in the way, but...
That's good.
You think that's good?
It's perfect.
Let's try that. Okay.
Do it.
We're going bing... Okay, so now, hey Jeff, how you doing, brother? Can you hear me?
Can you see us?
Awesome. And here, we'll get our mixer up for a second. We're going to make sure the audience can hear you. Now the audience can hear you, but they can't see you yet. But hold on a sec, because I'm going to move this window out of the way. And now they should be able to see you, too. Aha.
There we go.
There you are. And if I get that out of
there,
the way,
now we can actually do
now we
things.
can see you. Jeff Lundstrom, how you doing, brother man?
I'm doing good. You guys?
Not bad at all. Now, hold on. Let me just make sure that the audience can indeed hear you. That's the one thing about having that thing taken
bong
away.
rip, then.
Yeah, you have a bong rip. And audience, where'd our chat window go? There it is. Okay, now here we go. Sounds okay, they say. So we're good. We're going back. We're going back to Jeff. So, awesome to see you again, my friend. It's been a while. I was hoping that you were going to be in town around now or something. Or you were hoping to be in town, weren't you, or something?
I was trying to be in town for this weekend. Yeah, I've just been caught up with my expansion at the store, so.
Your new Vapor Lounge?
What's the expansion, Johnny says?
Your new
Oh,
Vapor
sorry,
Lounge?
John. I can barely hear you.
Mixer's all good. It looks all good. And speakers audio. So we're back, guys. Had a big crash there,
Awesome.
the whole computer crash. So we're going to try this one more time with Jeff. If it crashes again, then unfortunately that's all we get at Jeff for the day. But
that was a complete, and let's understand, everything is hooked up. We're doing absolutely nothing, and the system crashes. So
yeah, it happens.
You know, it
sometimes.
just seems to happen.
These things can
with
happen.
Our broadcast
so let's go over to
hours.
Jeff vid here. Oh, there we go. There's Jeff on cam again. Jeff back in action. Yo. And hopefully the audience can hear you there. We got that back. Yep, looks
Yeah,
good.
Jeff?
What are you smoking on there, Jeff?
He's got some weed.
I got some Rockstar sugar wax.
Nice.
And some blue cheese sugar wax.
Hey, we had some of that Rockstar sugar wax too, Carly Marley. The
Oh,
Rockstar sugar
yeah.
wax. That was good stuff.
Love the Rockstar.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, Jeff, fill us in on what's happening with the Prairie Cup.
We're rapidly approaching the 5th annual Prairie Medicinal Harvest Cup on October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of this year. So, going hard, getting prepared, planned, you know, keeping busy.
And it's at the same amazing event center. Now, didn't they change the name of this center or something?
They did. They changed it from the Odeon to O'Brien's Event Center.
Ah, now it has an Irish feel to it.
Yeah,
40
O'Brien's is
clovers.
like car dealership or something. Paid him some money to put the name on the building. You know how that shit goes.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's like Rogers Arena or something.
Yeah. Someone paid him to put some money on the sign. So.
Cool. So, Jeff, I'm excited for the Medicinal Harvest Cup because
It's an
Pot
exciting
TV
event.
will be in the house as usual, and it's going to be like, as I say, I always say that this is my favorite cup, not just because I'm there hanging out all the time and you make it all possible, but because it really is it's a really cool environment. Because of that event center, for one thing, you're able to keep everybody together in this area where you're able to do just about everything. You can have your stage stuff. You can have people sitting there vaping in the audience. There's it's a cool sort of inner stadium environment, but it's like a cool smoking lounge environment. It looks cool. It's got the good tunes. It's got the big screens and everything. You have an area for like the expo and all that shit.
Yeah, there's been some changes to the event center actually since you guys saw it last year. They set up, because they do a lot of rock shows and hip-hop shows, lots of venues there. They actually set up to each side of the stage, they set up a VIP like bottle service area.
Yeah.
So those are actually going to become our VIP. They're not really VIP, but they're our platinum sponsors, which are Sublimator and Boss Vape Co. And they're both set up with their own vaporization area for the people who come to the cup. So
there's
dope. These two sides of each side of the event center is just going to be lit up with sublimators, volcanoes, and Boss Vapes. And then the glass blowing is going to be directly out front of that with sort of a seating area in front for people to sit and vape and watch the glass blowing. So it'll be a little bit closer and intimate than it was last year because it's a little bit enclosed a bit. So, and then we're opening up the upstairs area and going to be doing some different stuff up there, our after party possibly. And we're toning back the music. It's not going to be so loud, kind of a little more softer kind of ambiance music so people can still visit and enjoy the cup and not be blasted out by music. So there are some changes, and we're introducing the Cannabis Olympics this year, so that's new. So there's lots of stuff going on. Tickets are already flying out the door.
Sweet.
Lots is happening in October. As everybody knows, it's a harvest time across Canada. A lot of cups are happening, including the Karma Cup, and I just heard about this new one at the end of October with Snoop Dogg.
Yep, in Vancouver.
The Harvest Moon Cup. So,
Yep.
I mean, lots is happening in the industry. High Times, I think, isn't doing their cup in Amsterdam. They're talking about Jamaica. So I think there's a big shift with the way things are going in the industry and legalization as it starts to happen across the world. And God, we need to get behind all that and get Harper the fuck out. You can tell that his plan is not to change fuck all. It's actually to go the other way and continue to enforce prohibition and make things worse for us. So unless we straighten that out come October 19th, we don't stand a chance no matter what kind of fucking protests we have, what kind of cups we have, what kind of dispensaries we open. We're always going to be fighting people like him and people like Pam McCall and, all the rest, the health minister and all the rest of them who don't have a fucking clue and aren't willing to open their eyes and catch up to the rest of us.
If Stephen Harper becomes the prime minister again, and especially if he has a majority government, we are seriously fucked.
I'm moving to Colorado where you can smoke weed recreational.
Yeah. No, we'd have to move the fuck out of this country. Like Harper, the amount of damage he'll be able to do with another term would just be unbelievable. He's already done so much.
I can see you guys are focusing around that with your show today, and you know me, I'm very politically involved. I watch where things go. These people are controlling the fundamentals of how we live our day-to-day lives. And we're supposed to have democracy, so we need to be standing up continuously for the injustice. I'd like to say the Prairie Cup is a big part of that, but all you guys are a big part of this movement, and we got to continue to fight until legalization is real. And when it is, then the Prairie Cup will be the best party to be at in the country. Hands down. So I'm really looking forward to this year, and I'm excited to have Pot TV. And I am trying to make it down to Vancouver next couple of weeks to hopefully see you guys. So maybe I can do the show live, and we can.
You gotta give me that.
That'd be dope.
Otherwise, if you're interested in coming and being involved, sasburycup.ca is where you can find us, or you can email me or my event coordinator Karen at sasburycup@gmail.com. Links to everything, ticket sales, where to stay, frequently asked questions, and almost anything else you need to know about the Prairie Medicinal Cup. And support's starting to really roll in. It's going to be a big year this year. It's my 5th year, and I'm proud of it. It's been the best endeavor of my activism, and I love you guys for all the help you put in. So thank you.
5th annual, that's awesome.
Yeah, Johnny
just wanted to say something here.
I was going to say... we're going to definitely get, I forgot what I was going to say, but...
He was going to say something.
I was going to say something, and I was supporting Jeff and stuff like that, and I threw a check in the mail for you. We got to get that a new logo for you for the 4th annual, so we'll do a medtainer custom for the judges. And
Johnny's going to be in the house.
Yeah, I don't know if I can make it yet. I won't know until September 4th.
Oh, you're going.
But I'm definitely on board with everything. So,
Jeff, what is the Pot Olympics you're talking about?
The Pot Olympics is for anybody who thinks they're good enough to compete against other potheads in ridiculous events to win silly prizes and have fun.
I better be coming.
Yeah, Johnny's got to show up.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm there. I don't know if I'm there personally yet, but I'll definitely be there.
Fresh frozen rosin?
Frozen is, finding different ways of it. I like it. Vertical pressing it and then just different ways. And
anyways, we're just getting distracted here. But that's cool. The Pot Olympics, that's awesome, man. Now,
that's totally cool.
Jeff, I wanted to ask you about entries this year. Do we know anything about who, how many strains versus... Now, you're going to have extracts this year as well?
Yeah, there's the extracts category that we're introducing. People have been bugging me about that for at least 2 or 3 years now. So, extracts for the first year. Now, we're only doing 4 extracts in each category, so solvent and solventless. So we'll do 4 in each category, and there'll be only 1 cup to give away. So there'll just be a first place for the concentrates this year. And then there's going to be 18 flower entries, 6 in each category, indica, sativa, and hybrid. So you're going to still have a total of 27 samples. It's just 8 of those now will be extracts.
That's awesome, Jeff.
Yeah, going to be some serious judging this year.
Definitely.
Now, have you talked to Myrnawana? Do we know if he is going to be able to make it?
We're going to be reaching out to Matt this week just to confirm that he's in and to book his flight, but I'm positive that everybody's on board.
Cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Very exciting. Awesome. And so, Jeff, people can get tickets right now at saskprairiecup.ca, right?
That's right. It's saskprairiecup.ca, link to ticket sales. If you're in the Saskatoon area or in Saskatoon, you can buy them right at the retail shop, Skunk Funk, and save yourself at least the service fees.
The soon-to-be enlarged Skunk Funk.
Oh, no, it's already been enlarged. We expanded 2 weeks ago now.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So you're already loaded up. That's excellent. How's the place looking? Is it nice?
It's beautiful. It's been a great expansion, and you can catch all of that pictures of the expansion on our Facebook group, Skunk Funk Smokers Emporium. So if you want to go there and take a look at what we did and how we changed things, that's where it's available.
Cool, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show. We just wanted to get an update from you. You know I love you, and next week when you're in town, we'll definitely have you on in person. Right here at 307 West Hastings.
I appreciate being on the show, and we're up to everybody in Pot TV land, and I look forward to coming out to Vancouver here real soon and see you guys.
Excellent, man. Love you, Jeff. We'll talk soon, brother. Peace. Yeah. Jeff from Skunk Funk. That's our homeboy. Mr. Lundstrom.
So, it was awesome seeing Jeff. Totally.
Yeah. And
I wanted to bring something up because we were talking a little bit about Harper.
Oh yeah. This is I saw your little. This is from McLean's, isn't it? Oh, I'll take that joint. Thanks, Carly Marley. So, Carly Marley, you should grab the microphone and quickly tell us about. You've been working on a project for Cannabis Culture for a while now. You're kind of like our de facto fashion editor, and you've been like basically searching out all these new cool stoner clothing lines and things made of hemp and all that kind of stuff. And you've been working on some articles. You got one online right now. You've been working on 2 more at the very moment.
I'm working on 3 at the moment, and I have another interview coming up, so I'll be starting a 4th very soon.
Can you tell me anything about any of those?
Oh,
just
I'm
real
so
quick.
Excited.
Just tell us maybe the name of a couple of them or something, or who you doing next?
Right now I'm working on an article about Chronicle Designs. For anyone who knows them, they're really wicked brand. Right now they mainly do swimwear. That's super sexy.
A lot of sexy bikinis.
Really, yeah, it's really eye-catching. It's a really fun brand, and it's run by a really, really awesome girl. So I'm really excited to tell everyone about that.
Cool.
The next brand I'm working on is Canna Clothing Club, which is really awesome. I think that a lot of activists in the community are really going to stand behind the beliefs of the brand. So that's another one I'm really excited about. And then the other brand that I'm working on right now is 420 Trading Company, which is a new Canna Clothing Club is a new one. Same with 420 Trading Company, and they both have really cool, morals behind what started up the brand and reasons behind why they started the brand. Yeah, so
with it's not just all about the profits.
No,
I kind of like that you're focusing on clothing companies and stuff that kind of have the same philosophy that we do here at Cannabis Culture, that there's some level of activism happening there and there's a message behind what they do.
Yeah, and I think it definitely is a part of activism, and most people I think a lot of people at least in our community who want to show their activism, that's an important part of it, is like walking down the street and like letting everyone know. Yeah, and it's a really easy way to show what your beliefs are without having to blow a joint in someone's face when you're walking down the street. Right. So it is definitely an important side of things, I would say.
Cool.
So,
well, look for those on Cannabis Culture.
And it's just so cool.
There's a lot of cool clothes. I've seen some of the pictures of the stuff that like with the Roman numerals and stuff. That's a cool one.
Yeah, that's from
It's like 420 in Roman numerals.
420 in Roman numerals. There's
like
some
that.
really cool designs, so you guys should definitely check them out. Yeah.
Cool.
Got some it's gonna be good.
Well, now.
And if you or anyone you know is involved in any like stoner clothing brands, contact me. Twitter,
Well, I have
Carly
one
Marley
right now.
420.
We got Captain Bob, and he's got.
Talk to this girl after the show. How do they get in touch with you?
Perfect. Pardon?
How do they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me over Twitter, Carly Marley 420, Facebook, Carly Marley. They can email me cmaggieann, CMAGGIEANN @gmail.com. Instagram, Carly Marley. Anyway,
there you go.
Any way you want can
That's
get a hold of me,
a lot of ways.
because I want to know
now
about
you gave
your
me
brand.
too many ways.
I was going to talk to you actually about bringing on this gentleman I met yesterday, and he's involved with the Haley Rose Foundation. And he started these clothing shirts, and it's all about Captain Bob. And every shirt he sells, he donates all profits to the Haley Rose Foundation. He's made thousands of dollars doing these shirts, and he's selling out. So I definitely would like to bring him on and talk about him because he's all about doing that same thing of helping and giving back. So he's got a kind of cool ideas coming up with his little.
I would love to have him on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Stoner Advisory's in the house. Megan, how are you?
Hey, Stoner Advisor.
My new Cannabis Culture employee as well, who's got some hours working for us in Cannabis Culture and Pod TV. Yeah, you guys know her, Stoner Advisory. She's always around. Got her cam and shit. I wanted to bring Corey up next, and then we're going to go to Brittany Mitchell, my other editor who works for Cannabis Culture. She's in Brantford, Ontario. We're going to Skype her in, but I first want to bring Corey on since she's right here in person. So I wonder if you could make some spatial for Corey, and you should too. You scooch over and let Corey sit right here. Got to be polite. I don't want to talk through that head. I'll never make it through to the other side. Goes one, it doesn't just go in one ear and out the other. There's a lot of like blockage in there. Just joking. Okay. Well, we can't go too long. I'm trying to keep this show to 3 hours, Just joking. Yeah, no. I'm actually trying to wrap the show up after 2 hours these days because it's supposed to be a 1 hour show, but we always go 3 hours. So I figure 2 is probably a good.
I think
Corey,
even the time. Hi, Jeremiah. I think even the day that you set up all special just to go 45 minutes.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to not. It's probably best to just take it in hand.
So I need to set a couple of things down and maybe load a joint or load a bowl. Maybe you could show this on the cam while I do that.
Sure. Oh, what is this? We got some Doctor Who love
That's a custom
here.
order for a friend's daughter's birthday.
Oh.
And I'm just going to be dropping it off tomorrow. Thought I'd show it off.
Where did this one go? Let's see if I can get the Doctor Who cam.
Yeah, we'll start with the light stuff first.
Oh, there it is. Wait, hold on.
So it's got glow in the dark as well.
Oh, and there's Megan. Hi, Megan.
Nice.
Two beautiful pieces of artwork.
2 for 1 right there, for sure. You guys were lucky. No, yeah, move it back over. Let's see her. There we go. That's a 2 for 1, guys. So you can see this. It looks like space. It's floating in space. It's about to zap somewhere. And there's glow-in-the-dark tendrils around it and in the windows a little bit.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks for showing that off.
It's very sparkly. I like that one.
Oh, it's only about a half a bottle of nail polish.
Only half a bottle.
Don't tell anybody my secrets. I shouldn't be telling you guys.
No, geez, giving away all the secrets on there. So the reason that I wanted to bring you on, Corey, is because we talked a little bit earlier on the show about Baby MJ, and you're the one who tipped me off to that whole story. I hadn't even heard of it until you told me about it.
I can't believe that.
So I wanted to I said, come on the show and tell us about it.
My hands kind of hurt. Would you mind putting some weed in here for me? I got my weed right
you
here.
want me to pack the pipe? Sure.
Would
Do you want a
appreciate
bong
it.
toke? I have weed somewhere.
That might kill me.
Oh,
I've
no,
been
I
ill.
don't have weed, but Johnny does.
I've been ill. That might not be a good
Johnny's
idea.
weed. Okay.
There's some on the table right here, kind of.
Oh, yeah, here, let's load that up.
It's just that reaching over
You
there
want
and
a
doing
bong
that.
toke? Oh, it's already packed.
I've been ill, so it's probably not a good idea.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, if I take a bong toke right now, I won't be able to finish the interview.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll save that for when you're ready
Let's
at
do
the end
that.
then.
So recently, August 10th, actually, I was Peter McWilliams' story came out. I just wanted to give that a mention.
Oh, right. Your
And,
article's up online.
Yeah, make sure you go check that out. How he's still inspiring writers. Just a quick shout out to that.
I added those extra links that
Yes.
you told me about.
Oh, excellent. Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, I forgot to tell you that.
Oh, it's hard for me to keep up too. Like, I'm mad. Oh, hey, I heard you got one of those shirts, like the Peter McWilliams shirts.
Peter McWilliams shirt?
Yeah, did you get one?
I don't know if I have a Peter McWilliams shirt.
Well, they thought they sent you one.
Oh, it's possible that I have one from a long time ago, but I don't remember. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look. I get shirts very often.
I bet you do.
So I'm not
You
sure
snap
if I
a
do
picture?
have it.
You snap
then
a
I
picture
will-
of yourself in it?
I would
and
love
post
to.
it?
I have no idea where. I'd have to go through my junk in my
You know
office.
the one with him with the nausea comment on the back, and it's just a picture of him on the front.
I don't think I do know it.
My profile picture has the shirt. Remember
Oh,
on
okay.
the Global Marijuana March, you took that picture of me pointing at you?
Oh yes.
I was
Now
wearing the
know.
shirt that day.
Ah, I'm not sure.
So
if I have
probably,
one or not, but I'll go and look.
likely, if it was a long time ago, that's the design you're looking for.
Yeah, I'll have a look. I have a big stack of mail that we get a lot of like books and T-shirts and products and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we're doing some new. Oh, I can't even. We have a new product tester at Cannabis Culture.
Oh no!
He's going to be doing some articles.
Ooh, how do I
kind of,
apply?
but I can't. He's got a pseudonym. He's a funny guy, so it's going to be. It's
sweet.
going to be humorous.
Oh, good content.
Humorous
Eh?
product testing. What's that?
Good content will come from this. I
It
hope?
would. Yes, I would
Oh,
hope so.
goody.
Well, that's
Goody.
part of the.
So
Hopefully, we'll see.
You guys did talk about the Cassie going to City Hall too, and then Neil
Cassie.
got to take her in there because
we
we
did talk
wanted.
about.
She had her own questions too because she frequents these places, and even though they're saying that forum is for people who are starting cannabis businesses, Cassie still wanted to make sure that they knew her concern about them shutting them down through the process. So that was really excellent.
No, I'm so glad that Neil and Cassie went down there and did that.
Well, the thing is that people don't realize that right now she's without her power chair, and oh yeah, right now she's been without it for 4 weeks.
Why? Just can't.
It's being repaired, and we're not
Oh,
sure
shit.
what the holdup is. So some of her friends are actually a little bit concerned, and so we're starting to maybe advocate for her. But furthermore, we're really happy that she's going to have some sort of established maybe sponsorship for her. I think so. I just don't want to. I don't want to put it right up on my chin like you're supposed to.
No, I know. I think that's okay. Anyways,
You don't know where it's
loose
been.
connections. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been near that Johnny B's mouth. You don't know where that's been neither.
Oh boy, no.
Yeah, filthy bastard.
I said I didn't know where the microphone's been, so I didn't really want to put it right up on my chin like you're supposed to.
It smells like Kool-Aid in here, and I love that smell.
Oh, it's that gum again, the strawberry kiwi gum.
Oh, I love that. It smells delicious. I love candy, Kool-Aid, all
But yeah,
things like sugary and sweet and awesome.
Number one, Cassie's been isolated because she usually gets up and out there and just does what she needs to do and shows up and is really awesome. And we're all used to that. But right now she's been without her power chair for 4 weeks. So she hasn't been able to enjoy, she hasn't been able to enjoy showing up and people being kind to her. So she's not only been isolated, but been without generosity as well.
Well, that's rough.
So we're all pulling together to give her. You must be careful. You must keep in mind not to just hand her a whole bunch of edibles. Okay, never give her more than about 3 days worth of edibles at a time. But you give her all the flour you want. Okay.
But the edible, she's gonna chow
Yeah,
them
just
all?
give her about 3 doses, like 3 days worth of edibles at a time is really good to give her. No more than that. But don't everybody, if 5, 6 people give her 3 days worth at a time, that
I'm
might
glad
not be
that
good.
you guys are doing that. That's really cool.
So we're trying to take a
Cassie's
organized
so
approach
awesome.
to it.
Yeah.
Right now, if you want to
She's
give
such
her
an awesome
something
person.
we want to make sure she, on a regular basis, has the medicine she needs so she doesn't feel.
It's too bad about the chair for now. I hope that gets
so
better
we're also
soon.
looking into that as well.
Oh, good.
So both the chair and her
Well, I hope-
needs.
And
we're
I know
hoping.
Cassie's able to communicate by, using the computer and all that kind of stuff. So
Well, and also anybody who knows even just really simple sign language, if you just know the alphabet, I'm super rusty, man. I'm bad. I'm really rusty, right? But I can do the alphabet.
So I wanted to talk
And
about
she can
this
lip read really well. Okay.
the baby MJ stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the next one, sorry.
Yeah, let's talk about that too. No, I wasn't trying to rush or cut you off or anything, but we got to go to Brittany too. So I want to.
Okay. So Wednesday on the Vancouver Sun, we made for front page, and his name is Pierce. I can't remember. Justin Pierce is the father. And I didn't realize this until after I'd looked at the picture until I don't know, in the afternoon of Wednesday, that I do know the person from working at Wheats personally, both the mother and the father. April 5th, the daughter was born 25 weeks so it's very premature.
Preemie.
And was not supposed to...
25 weeks. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really premature.
25 weeks. So instead
I was
of 40.
premature.
Yeah?
By like a month, almost.
Don't tell people that.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Did everything early. Talked when I was like 2 months old. Wouldn't shut up. Woo! Hammered her with that one. Wow. Nice.
Oh my God.
Nice work.
You out of your mind? Do you want to read that?
Oh, sure. He just fucked her.
I wasn't trying.
You ruined my correspondence.
You look at me like I don't want to give you a dab, so I didn't want to do that to you. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, so she was preemie. She was only 1 pound 4 ounces when she was born at the Women's Hospital, 32 centimeters long. She had severe E. coli and a grade 4 brain bleed. The doctors didn't expect her to make it past the first day.
This is from their fundraiser.
Yeah, wow. But she made it against all odds. And
so now this is
right. They started the CBD treatment. So you go ahead.
Well, I'll just tell you that's an update from.
So this is more with the Captain Bob and
yeah,
Haley. I was talking with them yesterday.
So she had seizures is the issue, right?
Yeah, and so they started giving her the CBD oil, and here's a report from 14 hours. They say she's 14 hours seizure-free, starting her trial dose of CBD at the hospital. The doctors have given the go-ahead to continue therapy after perfect results. Her last seizure was instantaneously stopped, and her stats recovered to normal within 2 seconds from the oil.
Wow.
So now this is an update from Wednesday.
These doctors can't argue with the raw facts of
So
the
you
shit
can
happening.
actually go to Cannabis in Canada Society, Cannabis in Canada website. It'll be right there, the video, and they actually gave
broke
it to
it before
the
the sun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched it live. They gave it to her underneath the tongue with a little bit of a swab. Now some updates. Yesterday we're talking with Dr. Hornby and talking with Josh and Cheryl, and they're being approved on MTC oil so it can get a better absorption, and then mix that because they want to thin it out because it's thick, and we're trying to find ways of getting it in there and stuff like that. So there's been great response from the hospital being involved, and of course the people who jumped forward to stop them.
Well, thank goodness.
They were going to take the baby off life support, and the ministry was going to take it off life support. When the Cannabis Canna caught wind of that, they jumped in, and under Charter 7, it's his autonomy, and he's a father, and they started this whole process. So it's been quite an amazing story the last 3 days, and I'm so happy that you brought it up. No, it is. You know what? Yeah, no. I mean, it's been quite an amazing what's going on with this right now. So, more breaking news. It's even with Cheryl. She's been seizure free now for months, and so this is Haley. Sorry, Haley Rose. I was mentioning Cheryl, but that's. Cheryl's daughter, Haley, so Cheryl's very much involved with the foundation and stuff like that, and what's going
Haley's
on.
And Haley's doing
with
amazing with her.
Oh, it's just amazing, and it's really comes down to of the high CBDs and the absorption rates, and then being able to get this to the kids at a proper dosing. It's not smoking. We're talking about oral forms of cannabinoids being administered to even infants, and we're seeing this is. It's amazing when you can save someone's life with that, and when you can really see the seizure stopping. With the little hands twitching and putting the oil underneath, and you can see everything just stop. And
even Sanjay Gupta from
powerful.
CNN has commented on this and has the entourage effect animation shows a little kid taking cannabis oil and stuff. So things are changing.
It's also happening in Calgary where the kids are now the one was getting administered cannabis, and the doctor won't resign now. So now they're running around having to maybe go to Quebec or something like that, and they're willing to take the illegal route to save their daughter who's having multiple seizures a day and who's taking an oil-based cannabinoid.
Yeah. So
here's an update from Wednesday after what's happening. First off, this is a response from someone else to them on their fundraiser. First off, excellent decision to get a lawyer who obviously knows what he's doing and has your back 100%. Secondly, your love for your daughter is very apparent, regardless of what anyone wants to say about her level of functioning. She is a feeling human being, and she feels your love. That's the best medicine. So now this is from 8 hours ago, earlier this morning. Mary Jane is responsive a lot more times of the day. She loves looking at her family. This is the first time they've mentioned her reacting to the world.
Yeah.
It's been survival up to this point.
Wow. Well, there you go.
This is about life now.
Yeah. Well, and we know pot's a miracle medicine, so...
Well, Well, it just goes to show right there to our health minister how cannabis is truly a medicine. You see how powerful it is. I mean, I watched it live, and when Josh was there and Cheryl, and what you said, I was talking with him yesterday about it and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just truly amazing to see exactly what we're all fighting for here, and it's about medicine, and it's about how cannabis regulates the whole system. And when you see this happen to a newborn and an infant that has no choice in life, and they're gonna pull the plug off of it, and the parents step in, parents step in and say, wait, we want to give our child cannabis, and it happened. And we're seeing it, right? And I think this would be the youngest, and it's just good to see. You know, like it's something that you gotta watch.
Pull together.
Yeah.
Well, it must be, I mean, remarkable when you see it happen. You know, like straight before your eyes when somebody is so, obviously helped by cannabis. Mm-hmm. That the doctors and anybody around can't deny it. It doesn't matter. All the Pam McCalls in the world can't.
No one can deny
take that shit away.
And there's people in this room. There's people all over this world that you cannot deny the fact that they use cannabis every day in order to survive and stay healthy. So, it's why we're here. It's why we fight. It's why we broadcast. It's why we bring you the breaking news of what's happening.
Yep.
And then we go on to that, and then I keep trying to bring this up is the pot science that Harper came up with, and
No.
Oh yeah, did you get that? Did you ever find that?
Two quick things.
Huh? Did you found it then again? You were gonna read it to us, but you ran.
Harper's pot stand versus science. A new report concerns many of the PM's campaign trial claim about marijuana policy, and he goes into a whole little debate on it and how it needs to be regulated. Then it claims marijuana is highly addictive, claims marijuana is on an average 300% to 400% stronger than it was 30 years ago from Health Canada television ads. They spent millions of dollars on ads about the abuse on it. Claims legalization of pot will lead to an increase in availability and use. Regulations will not reduce drug crime. Selling marijuana as tobacco or alcohol are sold is dangerously misguided. So
I just want to kick your phone out of your hand.
I know.
Your phone, so I won't do that.
No, that's just
so bad. We hear this and then we see how it's happening, right? So it's just something that
Stephen Harper,
the
guy.
All right, so real quick,
he's just not quite in tune with reality.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I mean, we're seeing this happening live in the last couple of days, at how it's saving young MJ's life, and then he's sitting there. Yeah, there's no science, and it's just people got to see exactly what's going on with us, right?
You can't see a better example of it than that, You got something else on the list there, Corey?
Two more things real quick.
Two more things? Oh, my God. Just joking.
Lose your mind. Lose your mind.
We have time.
So the Hippie Hoot Nanny is
own
not...
this network.
Oh, nice. So there's no, anybody waiting in the wings?
No show coming up
afterwards. There's someone waiting in the wings.
No episode of,
Yeah, we got to wrap before that so they can air. Yeah, no.
Jimmy Fallon after this or something.
I love Jimmy Fallon. He does not go 1 week. In fact, he doesn't go more than 2 shows without mentioning weed. He's the greatest.
Oh, he's a pot
He's the greatest.
smoker.
I love him.
So
anyway,
I'm looking forward to Colbert taking over for Dave Letterman.
Ooh, yeah, that should be interesting.
CBS.
11:30. So Hippie Hoot Nanny.
Leno. Leno's a schmuck.
Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the 25th, at the Biltmore. It's the second annual, I think. Maybe I'm not sure. Both Haley Rose Foundation and I are going to have a table there.
Second annual what?
Hippie Hoot Nanny.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what's happening with this 420.
I think they had wanted to maybe have it here.
Hippie Hoot Nanny.
Hippie Hoot Nanny. I think
hippie.
Hippie Hoot Nanny.
I've never heard of this.
They had wanted to maybe have it here at one point, but I don't know if they approached you guys or not. But
maybe have what?
The Hippie Hoot Nanny here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you're interested in that in the future, just keep that in mind. But this will be, I think, their second annual. Last year I went to it.
Are there nannies provided, and will they be hooting?
Well, I think they encourage everybody to wear as much tie-dye as possible. That's standard, right?
Of course, it's a hippie
and it's going to be at the Biltmore
tie-dye
Cabaret at 12th and Kingsway-ish. Okay.
Cool. And so what happens at this Hoot Nanny?
I know there's going to be wonderful music. You can look it up on Facebook for details. You never
hope
know.
there's a banjo. You can't
Last
have a
year there was
hootenanny
a
without
fiddle
a
player.
banjo.
There was a fiddler.
Fiddler. Oh.
Yeah, last year was wonderful. There was girls with flowers in their hair. There was lots of tie-dye. It was wonderful.
Yes. Cool.
I encourage you to check it out. That's the Hippie Hootenanny at the Biltmore. There's a Facebook page.
Very cool.
EB, was it the record company, Madhouse Records or something like that, is part of the Madhouse Records, I think.
Oh, yeah. I listen to every album.
Oh, haven't you?
No,
I
I have no idea.
So the last
Madhouse,
thing
what
is
do they do?
the Leafy Awards.
Where's this?
Last year, the Leafy Awards, I think, was the
Oh,
first
Lift.
time. No, Leafy.
Oh, Leaf Lee?
Leaf E with no L.
Oh, Leaf E. Okay. And where are these?
It was on Facebook and online, and they recognized, I think, Jason Wilcox and their whole list of other people as well.
I thought, wasn't Lyft putting that on? Oh, that's
I
what I
have
thought it was
no
a Lyft
idea.
thing. Maybe I was wrong.
I have no idea.
I remember there was some awards thing.
Well,
yeah.
the organizer put out a call and said, "Hey, I'm not doing so well this year, and I'm not quite in the circumstances to run it the way I did last year.
Oh.
So it's either going to go away or someone please step up and do something." So I've stepped up and helped to facilitate it at least this coming season, and then hopefully there'll be something in place for someone else to do it after that.
Well, that's cool.
And he made me administrator and announced
these
it.
things going.
And just wanted to let you guys know that the nominations start, I believe, January 1st, run through a certain period of time in February, and then will be done and concluded, I believe, at the end of February.
Where do you go to find out more?
You look up Leafy, so Leafy.
Yeah.
Awards
is
on
there a website
Facebook
or
for
something?
sure.
Oh, it's on Facebook.
I just got involved with it, so I don't really know a whole lot more information
We'll
than
get a
that.
website to you
but you
guys
can look
if
it up.
there's one there. Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool.
For a
Awesome.
transcript of the list of things Corey mentioned today, look to Jeremiah at cannabisculture.com.
Exactly. Cool. Well, thanks, Corey. That's awesome. I'm glad
thank
that
you.
you came on today to tell us all about all that.
Thank you for letting me jabber about all that crap.
Of course. And we didn't end up. Oh, here, take your bong toke now that you're.
Now that the interview's done.
I got it right away. Oh my I started with the big dab of bubble and rosin.
We need a lighter, though.
What?
We need a lighter.
Did
Somebody.
you say I do?
Oh, you have.
The girl who sells lighter leashes and distributes lighter leases. You mean I need a lighter?
That's a nice one you have around your neck. It has a cool pot leaf pattern on it. I really like that one.
The most popular one in the
Wow,
420
that's pretty.
series.
Oh, wow, cool. Well, that's Corey Tripsy, contributor to Cannabis Culture and Pot TV on the regular. Speaking of Pot TV and Cannabis Culture contributors / staff, Brittany Mitchell, calling her right now. Oh, wait, let's get video, though. We need both. We need video. Britt's got to press the video button. There she is. Oh, let's see if we can see over there. Oh, grabbing.
Thank you.
There she is. Hi, Britt. Nice. Oh, you look very nice. Here, we'll put you down a little bit. I hear Molly and Thule.
Hi, Britt.
No, I don't know if I can hear you very well. Hold on, let me turn the sound up. And if... Let's,
She's got a cool tattoo.
Yeah, she's got a cool chest piece tattoo there. You can see on the air. Nice. Megan had a cool one, too. So, hi, Britt. How you doing? Good. And chatters, let us know if you can hear her okay. I can hear you fine, Britt. How's it going? You're sitting in your house right now, in your awesome house that you own. No, wait a sec. Didn't you put your house up for sale? Can we talk about that on the air? Maybe we shouldn't. They know now, yeah. Yeah, Brantford, Germany. Yeah, alrighty. Yeah. It says the lounge is too loud. Hold on, I'm going to turn the speakers down a bit. Okay, hopefully that takes care. And we're going to turn your mics up a bit here, just to make sure that everybody can hear you. It'd be terrible if they didn't get to hear that lovely voice of yours. And so, Britt, what's going on? I forgot that I was even having you on the show today, which is so horrible of me. Oh, here we go. Here's the issues. Volume is way down. So now they should actually be able to hear you properly. Now you can say hi.
Hello.
Say it and she waves after that. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully that's better. Chatters, let us know. That should be better now. I'm actually getting volume in here. Before it was really low. Yay, now they can hear you. So, of course, you work hard every day on Cannabis Culture, collecting news stories from all around the web for us. You're our news aggregator these days. And you look like you froze there for a sec. Uh-oh, did I lose you? No! Yay, we're back! They can see us again. So, yeah, we were talking about, Stephen Harper's haircut?
He's pretty much a robot, so it looks like he's got implants going on.
So, you've been, you're a very political person, Britt. You've been, prepping up for the election and everything. Were you surprised that Harper decided to do it early now?
I wasn't surprised. I was kind of dreading it because I am a campaign manager, so it just means that there's more on our plate now. But it's okay because it does make it feel like it's more spread out. So, but I mean, the issue with me is that he has spent millions of dollars trying to make this happen.
Right, exactly. It's going to cost the tax. Despite what he says, see, Steve always says the opposite of what's true. He came out and said this is going to save money, but really it'll cost taxpayers more money. And he said that marijuana is bad and Canadians don't want it, but really it's good and everybody wants it. You know, Steve's got a little truth problem. So, Britt, you're you're a big smoker out there, aren't you?
I've cut back. I'm trying to get more into can oil because I did get my my license to carry. So
I wanted to ask you. I was going to ask you about that Brantford weed, though.
Oh, Brantford weed? It's not so great.
It's not?
No, it's really not. It's actually decent. I mean, there are worse selections of cannabis to come across, but it's definitely not my favorite, that's for sure. But if anyone in Brantford would love to prove me wrong, you can always find me and give me a little sample. Maybe I'll change my mind.
So you're kind of a high-profile Brantford cannabis activist. I'm hitting the bong. Hold on a second. Oh, jeez. Oh, bong hitting here. Okay, Johnny. Oh, good God. You guys couldn't see that because I can't reach the button from here, but... No, they didn't see it. Sorry, they're looking at... Brittany's still better looking anyways. So, Brantford, you're a high-profile cannabis activist out there. You had something to do with the Brantford Cannabis Club and all the success they had. Is that still going on?
Yeah, definitely. They're currently working...
We're back, I guess. Goddamn computer. Yeah, so we crashed again. That was a really bad one. At first, we thought we were going to get you back.
I believe that there's more to the crashes than meets the eye. Viewers, just so you know.
No.
Is my mic even working?
Yeah, your mic's working.
Is it? Can you hear me?
Well, hold on, let's just sit here. Go ahead.
No. Go. Mic problem. No. This one's working. Hey, I got it back. So I've been talking to nothing. That's pretty cool.
No, you've been talking to something.
Oh shit, my laugh. Sorry.
So
I hear my own videos. I hate it.
I love it.
No, I don't think there's anything more than just that live stream sucks, and especially when we're running Skype at the same time as live stream, and that's too much for the system apparently. It's not that old of a
So we're
computer,
talking about the second
could all
monitor,
be
but let's
replaced.
get back
It
to
will all
we
be replaced very
Skyping back
soon.
in?
Say what?
We're Skyping back in?
No, Brittany, we said goodbye to
Brittany's
Brittany. She's going to come in person. She's going to come here soon enough in person and actually have us in our real studio sometime
That's a
soon.
great thing.
Hopefully.
This
We'll
is
see how
our
that
real
goes, but
studio?
when we have our real studio.
This
which is
seems
coming
like the
soon.
studio. There's like nothing wrong with this area.
You don't
right
like
here.
this as a? Or,
I like it. I'm
you
always
think you want to
happy
keep
with this
this
area.
as a studio?
I think we should change
but
it around and
it's
do,
so loud in
do
here.
this way and have the audience in the
But
background.
see, when we build the studio in the other room, our
Yeah.
plan is to have a glass wall and it will be like a real studio where it's soundproofed on the inside, and people will be able to look through and see us, and we can turn some speakers on, and they'll be able to hear us out in here, but we won't have to hear them. And so we won't have all these, like, it gets really loud in here. And
interruptions?
So there's always, like, fucking
when
around
I can't hear
microphones.
things?
That's a good thing. And we'll be able to record things on the fly. We won't have to set up the set every single time. We'll have numerous cool-looking screens behind us, so the set will be able to be like more professional-looking. The lighting will be better. There's 1,001 reasons why we should have a very slick-looking studio rather than just shooting in the lounge. But that's my argument. And I made the argument successfully to the bosses, and so now we're going to have a studio soon.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're just still raising money and putting it all together, but we do have some sponsors already. The Karma Cup is sponsoring, and who else is in on the sponsorship at the moment? I'm forgetting already who is sponsoring me. I can't remember now.
You can't remember your sponsors?
Wait, who's the other person?
That's not bad. That's us.
Who's the other? Oh, Three Happy Cats is sponsoring.
So
three Happy Cats is sponsoring the studio, and Karma Cup. So far, those are our sponsors. What about MedTainer?
Well, you know what?
MedTainer won
the
in
guy
on that?
behind the guy that is, I'm here. MedTainer.
When you
yes.
talk to when next time you talk to the guy who
I'm
runs,
definitely doing well. We do a lot of grinders through Cannabis Culture store and the lounge, and they have their custom ones. And
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm definitely gonna.
I was gonna try and make a
I'm
joke.
doubling down. Have to joke it up. I'm gonna do it.
Joke it up. We
So
can put
it's gonna
MedTainer,
happen.
your big floating head on the screens behind us.
No
Johnny's floating
heads,
head.
You know, there's a little bit of a different stuff like that. But it's definitely I'll advertise and this whole advertising thing and what's happening with our government and stuff like that about the advertising around marijuana related products and stuff like that, anything related to marijuana. I'm gonna start doing a lot of advertising with MedTainer because I'm not advertising marijuana. I'm advertising a container, a plastic container that you can use for grinding several different things. Your medicine and your recreational herbs are one of those things you use. So I'm gonna definitely. I have no problem. I mean, I've already done a sponsorship with the magazine, so I'll have ads on your front page coming up. And
Yeah.
get it done. There you go.
Get her done.
And Jeff
All
too,
right.
doing a sponsor there.
Yep, Big Jeff. Well, and thanks to Big Jeff for coming on the show. Thanks to Britt for coming on the show.
Yeah,
even if it was a little shaky, we're gonna get all that fixed up. And thanks to you guys for coming on the show. Thanks to Corey. Awesomeness. And Stoner Advisory's out here taking photos in the crowd.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to come and take a bong toke?
Bong rip.
You should come and take a bong toke. Hit the bong rips. So here, reload this. Where is there weed to throw in here, Johnny B?
Getting it ready right now.
Okay, here, let's dump that out. This will be the last bong rip of the show.
6:23.
What's going on, everyone?
Hi, Megan. How goes? You getting some good shots out there today?
A few so far, yeah.
That's not loaded yet.
Why did you do that, Ben?
Do that first. That'll do ya. Now, hopefully that is actually able. It's not too stuffed to be hit, but.
Okay, this is some beautiful organic, of course, LED grown.
Oh, hit it again. Keep going. There's more. Woo! Double bomb. Yeah. Hit that shit. Very nice. Oh, it's pretty much done. I don't know.
It's super tasty.
I know. Isn't it smooth, really tasty? It's that's that 100%. Yeah, just LED. Did amazing for me. Quite happy with it, guys.
We're going to talk about the LEDs.
Talk about growing someday and talk more about the new CFMs and well, what we're doing, trying to get make rooms efficient and more affordable so people can grow their own medicine at home. That's really what I'm trying to achieve right now is going low wattage and seeing what I can do. And I know this is just the next step. So yeah, I'm happy people are really liking it. It's smooth, it's tasty, and it's
super smooth, like no coughs whatsoever.
No.
There you go. It gets the Stoner Advisory stamp of approval. Yeah, that's that little thing that says, the little black and white thing.
Yeah, it's just mine now. I just claimed it.
Have you gone to see Straight Outta Compton yet, the NWA movie?
No.
Are you going to go see that?
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh,
It looks pretty cool, but
I'm going to see it as soon as possible.
depends on whether, I want to spend that much on a movie or wait till
$35. Yeah, no, it's very expensive. Are you reaching for this? You want? There you go. Oh, Carly Marley should have one of those too. All right.
She did this huge one and like a massive one, and it was like
on air, off air.
Later, and I thought it was on air, and so did she, but apparently it wasn't.
You got to reload that thing and then let her hit that. Yeah. Yes. Display. We didn't have the bong cam today. I was going to put that bong cam back together. Thanks for coming on, Megan. But I forgot to get the elastic bands.
This was a
to strap it
champion
on.
hit last time. I was like impressed. So.
Dun, dun, dun. Hit that shit up.
I think I'm going a little bit higher up on this one.
Hitting Duchess. That's my girl, Duchess. Oh, yeah. Knocking that thing hard. Boom. Oh, hey, guys. Whoa, hey, perfect timing. We were just about to end the show. I was literally about to hit the button until Tracy
showed up. And and we went for the bigger.
We got to hear what happened. You didn't make it down then? Can you come here? Come over here. Get on cam here. Tracy Curley. Pod TV star Tracy Curley. And wait, here, as soon as Carly's done hitting that, I'm going to get you to trade spots because we can't see you.
Can you not see me?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
She's still going hard on this thing.
Okay.
She's getting the biggest bomb.
All right. Yay.
Okay.
All right, you guys trade spots. Thanks, Carly Marley. Tracy Curley, the ruffian border jumper.
She missed that. She wanted that.
I'm telling you.
Commandeered to the border for like 9 hours or something?
7 hours.
What the hell happened?
So the plan was to go to Seattle for Hemp Fest, and one car of our party made it across the border, and we were stopped, and it turned out that one of the party in our vehicle had been questioned about marijuana before, which meant they searched the vehicle.
Right, they do that, yeah.
And then they searched the vehicle, and then they Googled me.
Uh-oh, whoops. Baked with Tracy Curley.
They asked me about Pot TV.
Oh, did they?
They did. The border asked me about Pot TV.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah. They asked me a lot of questions. And so I answered all their questions. And I, apparently, according to their supervisor, I answered all their questions correctly. And so when we were finally done, because our driver...
7 hours later.
7 hours later... because our one passenger had admitted to using cannabis in the past, and then our driver admitted to using cannabis in the past, not even now, but in the past.
Well, yeah.
The Border Patrol said, well, you need to get a waiver then if you want to come across the States.
Because you've ever used it.
If you've ever used it. So, but they looked at me and said, well, you've got medical use, you've got your documentation, you've answered all the correct questions, okay?
Oh, so
you're okay. So if
they
I
didn't have to let you, though.
So if I had walked across the border yesterday and had a ride to pick me up, I would have made it to Seattle Hemp Fest.
Yeah.
But I didn't, so we came back to Vancouver, and I booked an Amtrak train for 6:30 this morning.
Oh.
And I had all the paperwork they'd given me telling me that I'm okay. And 5 minutes into border, they didn't even look at the paperwork. They just looked at me and said, nope, see you later.
They said no?
They said no.
Away?
They said no. And now the Border Patrols at Amtrak said because I admitted that there was a problem the day before, I now need a waiver.
Because you admitted there was a problem?
Because I admitted that I was stopped the day before. And even though they cleared me, they've now added something to my file so I have to get a hold of an immigration lawyer, which is now going to cost me money.
Oh my God! Yeah, or you can't
I've
go to the
gone through the
States.
process of this whole waiver process, and I'm about $1,600 in 2 years.
What a fucking fraud!
I do have the paperwork and the name of the officer, the Border Patrol officer that was there, but I gave him a phone call today after I was kicked off Amtrak, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet.
Yeah,
so,
apparently it does you no good at the border.
So, when life gives you shitty Americans, you make other plans.
Yeah.
So I got to see some really awesome things in Vancouver, specifically the inside of a tattoo shop.
Oh. And what's the result? Did you get a tattoo?
There's a new tattoo.
Oh, what?
Right
wow,
about here
one.
right now. A big one.
Well,
it might have something to do with the sweatshirt that I'm wearing.
Oh, shit. Is there going to be photos of that online somewhere?
There will be photos shortly. I have just actually put them up.
We have the tattoo cam.
I've
just happen to have the tattoo cam here.
Well, I can't. It's padded at the moment. But
okay.
There are pictures on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as we speak.
And where do people find you on those things,
You
Tracy
can
Curley?
find me on Instagram at BudBabeTO. And you can find me on Twitter at TracyCurley420.
There you go. And you can find her on Pot TV. On the homepage, she has her own slot right on the homepage. She better be making new videos soon.
There is actually, I am waiting for Opus, the host of the 420 Lifestyle Show, to edit the episode we taped last weekend where you will learn how to make medicated candy bacon.
Oh, man, bacon. Yeah, and you brought that onto the Monday show,
yeah,
Opus
show. Everybody ate that.
How delicious it was.
I got D420K in the house, and when you said that, he just started nodding his head. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" Because that's like, I have two.
So there will be a recipe on Pot TV on how to make it in your very own kitchen.
Very soon. So Baked with Tracy Curley, you can watch that on Pot TV. And
so,
of course,
hey, I'm going to be in Vancouver all weekend instead of Seattle. So if anybody wants to get me high, I'll be here.
Right here in the lounge.
And here for a little bit over a week.
I got some bacon at home.
Yay!
Well, and it means we just get you for more time to hang out, so that's nice.
Well, and I'm very excited. Actually, Sarah Sunday from the Karma Cup will be arriving this week too. So we've already decided we're having dinner at John Barfalo's house.
Yeah, I think that was already. It's already happening.
Yeah, no, John.
Dinner at my place.
It was already happening before you knew that we were coming.
He cooks everything under an LED light.
I just bought new LEDs to go in my office and in my basement.
But it's all solvent free.
That's right, solvent free.
And you go to the backyard, you can pick your fruit off the trees.
Yeah, he makes fresh, frozen rosin ice cream for dessert. Yeah, it's fresh and frozen.
Actually,
really
we should do that.
It's really good when you mix it. I take the fresh frozen and I mix it into the frozen into the coconut oil, and I'm giving it to my dad. I'm giving it to a lot of people. And it's a better way of absorption, and I was talking about that, but anyways, won't get into all that stuff.
I wasn't being serious.
Fine.
Anyways.
So I'm glad I made it for the end of the show. And
I'm glad you did too. We were talking about you.
The sushi is sitting there too.
Oh, sushi. Oh, shit. Oh, wow, that's a big sack of sushi. Wow. So I was actually complaining about being starving, so good on you, brother. She doesn't have a microphone, so that's okay. But yes, Tracy, you're going to be around for probably another how long?
I am here until the evening of the 24th. I take the red eye home, and
we'll hit. Is that a Friday?
That is a Monday or Tuesday. Actually, I hit the ground. I hit the ground running in Toronto at 6 a.m. on the 25th and go straight back to work in the bakery.
So I can still have you on next week's show, and it'll be all good.
You can have me on next week's show. It's true.
Nice, yay!
It's
okay,
true.
Good. We'll have you back next week for sure. Then, awesome. Well,
awesome, Tracy.
That was excellent. And what time is it now? It's already 6:33. Good Lord.
6:33, and Darren pulled out a whole ray of hash over there.
Darren's got the big hash sack.
Yeah,
He's not only does he has the sushi sack, but hash and sushi sacks.
I have to give a shout out to Megan, because when I realized that I wasn't getting into Seattle this morning, the first person I messaged was Megan and said, "Fuck it, I'm not going to Seattle. I want to get tattooed. Where do I go?"
Oh, she gave you the heads up on the tattoo place.
Yeah. And I actually got 2 tattoos today. So I've got the one that has to be yet to be revealed that Carly has seen, and I actually got one that's actually kind of trending right now. I got a semicolon.
Oh, you did?
On my shoulder,
yes.
So
what's the semicolon?
All right, so a lot of people don't know this. So it's kind of it's one of those tattoos that just kind of represents people that have dealt with depression or suicide thoughts or something like that, because when it's a period, your sentence ends. Right. But if you use a semicolon, that sentence continues. So it's kind of like stop,
I like it.
Yeah, so it's
cool.
Your story continues. Don't.
Yeah.
And it'll.
Yeah, give a hands up for that.
I think it's not really good for that reason, and also because it's bringing attention to a little-known grammatical tool that people it's way underused.
That we are losing in the world of text and
That's right. Making
Facebook
me happy as an editor.
Yes.
Yeah. That semicolon just doesn't get enough use. Also good to separate lists,
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good that way.
Work that into the tattoo.
Yeah. So
separating lists somehow. I'm not sure how that works. Anyways.
So, and I went with Steve from 3 Happy Cats and 12 High Chicks, and Jesse at Strathcona Tattoo, and I helped take away Steve's tattoo virginity. He got his first tattue
busted
today.
The cherry. Did he bleed?
He bled. But I was the whiny bitch, it's true. By the time I got to the end of mine, they were like, wow, you make some great sounds. Your neighbors hate you, don't they? And I'm like, well, they kind of love me.
I bet. Bunch of filthy neighbors, too.
Yeah.
I just took a tattoo.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what it ends up in a
hilarious.
tattoo. They're the same thing, really.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure to have you on the show, Tracy.
Thank you
for
very
the
much,
few
and I'll be
minutes.
back next week.
And did you give her one of these yet? Of your fresh whatever you got going on?
Ooh, look, it's a dab Tracy will
She's
do.
going to hit you up, and then that'll be the last of the show.
Solventless dabs, folks. Make
and
more of them.
Stone Advisory's taking mad shots with her dope-looking camera out there. The Nikon. Looks nice. Oh, she misses her old one that got stolen.
What happened?
They kicked
got
her
robbed?
door down.
Is this my... No, they what?
Held a gun to her puppy's head.
What? What do you mean got robbed? Who?
Apartment robbery. Everybody's getting robbed. Did they bring the bear spray? I said, did they bring the bear spray? David Mama Levine got robbed at the dispensary with bear spray and a knife. Yeah, so lots of dispensary robberies. And the cops robbed Lime Life. They closed it down. So, yeah, there's lots to come about the whole dispensary battle here in the city of Vancouver. Oh, yeah, I did talk about Mike Sir being at the meeting and giving us weird conflicting rules. So look out on cannabisculture.com this week for some comment from the Vancouver Police Department. I'm working on a story right now trying to get them to respond. I'm sure they will. I have acquired some video, I hope. So remember, earlier on the show I mentioned trying to acquire the video, and now I have verification that the video will be acquired. So we're all good. But yeah, keep checking in at Cannabis Culture and Pod TV for all the latest on the marijuana community in Canada, the United States, around the world. We love you, Pod TV. Did she take that hit? She took it, didn't she?
Yeah, and she's like, it's awesome.
The dab vacuum. All right.
It's very, very yummy. And I am a picky dabber. I am a solventless only dabber.
Only.
Only.
Really?
And so that's why they're coming over.
You just don't want to hurt
because I'm from Toronto. I'm from Toronto, where dirty dabs are mistaken for black tar heroin.
Oh.
I'm from Toronto. They do not make clean dabs in my home
So
province.
all the clean BHO people out here, they couldn't convince you to try.
There are a few people, like if Tim Powers gives somebody the go okay, I will. I've actually called.
Right.
I actually called Tim Powers from the Extract Express at one point when I first met the Beard Brothers, because I was like, wait, you guys know Tim? Hey, Tim. And he's like, oh, yeah, you can do a dab. So I did do a dab on the Extract Express, which everybody in Ontario freaked out about because Tracy doesn't dab.
Oh, that's right. Well,
you know,
yeah. Tim's
I
awesome.
only dab with the brilliant. Yes. See, like I only dab with the really amazing producers. I'm very, very picky.
Yes.
I'm pretty picky about my hat, too.
I just got buzzed.
But speaking
on my
of
Apple
which,
Watch.
Mr. Buffalo, where is my time machine?
By Brittany.
Or my...
I've been working on that, and I'm pretty close. I think it's coming.
See, because I've been to Vancouver twice in the last 6 months, but I should be able to beam myself whenever I see fit. And you're supposed to be on that. And also, where's my fucking pony?
Even on an airplane.
I have some My Little Pony at home.
Okay.
All right. Well, anyways, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks to Brittany as well for coming on, and Jeff. Didn't get to the chance to mention that Brittany, she said campaign manager, but she's a campaign manager for a Green Party campaign there in Brantford. So Brantford Green Party, got to give them shouts out. Yeah, and love you, Britt. Thanks for coming on. Love you, Jeff. Thanks for coming on. And you can watch lots of Pot TV shows all week long at pot.tv. All kinds of stuff from this building and from out in Toronto from Vapor Central. You got the Red Beard show tomorrow at 4 p.m., so make sure you tune in for that. Next week, you got Opus coming on Mondays, 4 p.m. Carly's there for that. She's down on the couch. And bye, Carly Marley. And don't forget about McMahon on Wednesday, or sorry, not McMahon. That's Opus. Don't forget about Marijuana Man. That's the other man on Wednesdays with Al the Alchemist and Miss Kush Queen. That is From Under the Seed Desk. And lots of other Pot TV programming, all at pot.tv and Cannabis Culture. Peace, guys. Love you.
Peace.